Alright. Should be good to go. Hello, everyone. Getting a slightly early start today, just because I felt like it. I don't like just sitting, kind of waiting to start stream, so I'm just like, I'm only 5 minutes early. Might as well. Hello, Matria. I believe Sin is also in the chat as well. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Just morning, lambs. Good to have you here. Just let me get the, I'll get the ambiance set up. Just something in the background, if it actually is going to play. Very quiet, perhaps I need to make it a bit louder. Oh well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hello, Ilya. Hello, Mine. Good to have you all here. We hear you loud and clear. Thanks, Matria. Good to know. Just kind of making sure I've got everything set up. I thought I might go for some Shadow of the Colossus today for the background. Hey, Reggie. Duncan. Goodness me, everyone's jumping in here. I guess that's the benefits of Discord alerts. I was Dominion Zephyr change. Oh, okay. Well, Lambs is a little bit easier to read. Got the stream on my TV. Hello. Oh, am I in the living room or am I in like a bed? Like what kind of TV set am I on? Are you pulling up chat into the stream? I should have chat. Where did chat? Oh, because it's under. There you guys are. I accidentally put the window capture on top of chat. There you go. Hey, Dex, good to have you here. Yeah, definitely the benefit to the Discord. Is this the first time I've gone live since the Discord server originally went up? I think so, because I made it available during the last one, I think. Hello, Boundless. You finally managed to make it to another stream. Hey, I finally managed to make it to one too. Obviously, I missed last week. Hey, what are we building today? It's going to be another Deity Build live stream because I've run out. The three that we did last time, which was Loviatar, Lathandar, and Ilmater, have all been done now, so we're going to make up some more. Bedroom TV? Oh, nice. Hey, Silverfin. Living room? No, this is a necromancy household. No living rooms here. So what gods are we building today, Vlaakith? Well, it's going to be voted by you guys as normal. But there is one I want to start with because it's been really, really highly requested. And yeah, Dex, it is Selûne. So I want to get Selûne built today, and then from there on, go from there. We'll vote after that. I'm noticing my microphone's a little bit loud today, so I'm actually going to turn it down slightly. Let me know if it goes too quiet. Just going to turn myself down a little bit. Yeah, Discord alert is great. Yeah, I mean, the Discord, it's nice because I was introduced to the bot that like does that from my streamer friend Red, who's been very, very helpful with actually making my live stream a slightly higher quality and managing the Discord. So, you know, credits to her. But yeah, we're going to be doing Selûne to start, and then after that, it will be voted on by you guys what we do. I recommend Cyric for those Mystra haters. Yeah, I'm still going to think I'm going to limit it to the deities that are available in-game, Selûne being one of them for now. Cyric, I've had some requests for Cyric as well, specifically in a very specific build request that was posted on the Discord. So I'm going to stick with the deity builds that are available in-game, mainly the ones that are actually selectable from the deity list if I scroll down to here. But I definitely want to build Selûne today, for sure. And then after that, go from there. Let me just make sure everything is good over here. Yeah, I think we're all good. Perfect. Hey, Voltage, what's up? Darn it? What do you mean, darn it? Vlaakith is a deity in the game. Yeah, so we could do Vlaakith service, for sure. Oh, hey, I just wanted to remember because I wanted to ask, you planning on making a party build with the devil foil masks? It's come to my attention before. I just haven't really sat and thought about it much. Hello, Zachary. I say Talos build. I've already got a Talos build, although I might remaster it soon. I've already got a Talos build if you want to check the channel. All the builds that I have done, all the deities that I have already covered are in the description for the stream. Hey, boss. Good to see you. Yeah, sorry. I turned on sub-only mode just because I was warned that like that will stop bots from happening. So I did that, but the chat still goes quite quick, so I have to be a bit careful. Selûne build, Glyph of Warding Sleep, Glyph of Warding Sleep. Yeah, maybe. I'm half expecting the Selûne build to look like Sailor Moon. Oh, I could do that. That might be funny. Oh, no deities outside of the game, that's the darn it. Well, that will come eventually. Just not yet. Hi, Isra, good to have you. Hello, Pyroblade. Wouldn't one of your Shadowheart builds be a Selûne build? Yes and no. I was more building that... Well, the first thing is the Shadowheart build was two separate deity builds kind of combined into one, being either Shah or Selûne, and it's more tied to Shadowheart than Selûne, and people keep asking me for it, so I figured, you know what? Let's just do it. So we're going to start with Selûne, and then we'll have a vote on some other ones. Will you actually do the Dead 3 builds in the future? Yeah, I do plan to, just not yet. Ayo just started the Loviatar Modder of Pain. Good to catch the stream while I grind levels. Yeah, that Loviatar build was an interesting one. I feel like it was one of the more interesting ones gimmick-wise, but it was fairly standard overall, I think. Let's see. Sorry, I meant the Moonbow. Ah, okay. I think Selûne's chosen needs Moonbeam. Absolutely. So I'm going to pull up Selûne real quick, just so I can get the download on it. I always forget what the search bar is on fandom. Oh, I hate fandom. Honestly, can we, like, can we stop with fandom? Like, the Forgotten Realms wiki needs to move off of fandom. Yeah, see, look, now that, like, if I didn't have an ad blocker on right now, I would be infested with ads. It's ridiculous. So many different avenues for Vlaakith. We could be full martial, full caster going into the Psionics, or even a Great Gish. If I was going to build, like, a Vlaakith deity build, I'd probably want to do it after, like, her, like, a close honor guard, because I think they have some unique abilities that might be interesting, if I'm remembering the lore correctly. That reminds, one ending I had in mind for Gilda was her dying and sacrifice to save Karlach. Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that on the Discord. Selûne's spear has Moonbeam. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not sure if... Like, I mean, I guess it makes sense to go for Selûne's spear. But that's more related to Shadowheart. I was actually kind of leaning towards the Moonlight Glaive, but we'll see. Because this is the problem, right? Because if we're going to make a proper Selûne build, having it be separate from Shadowheart is a bit tricky. Because I think the interesting idea of, like, having a Selûne cleric with Shadowheart in the party while she's still worshipping Shah, I mean, that leads to a ton of interesting stuff. Doesn't Isabel have unique Selûnite robes? Yes! If she dies, which I don't think we'd want to do. Or even Vlaakith Necromancer because she is a lich. Yes, exactly, that could also be good. But let's focus on Selûne for now. It's like an archer build mainly. What is, like, a cleric? Fandom are super scunny. Oh, right, Selûne, yeah. Hey, sorry I'm late. What are we doing? Yeah, Selûne. We're working on Selûne, Raiden. Good to have you here. Not gonna lie, Selûne's robe looks beautiful. Shame you have to kill Isabel to get it. Well, technically, you don't have to kill her directly, because if she gets captured by Marcus in that one scene in Act 2, she dies in the Kefrek fight, so... Technically, you could still kill her while being good, but I don't like to... I don't know. I'd go for Life Cleric support for Selûne. Yeah, but... I don't know. Because... I kind of already have one of my recent deity builds being a Life Cleric, mostly, so... I don't know. I want to kind of come up with something a bit different this time. Wiki says, in your camp if you're Act 3, if she accompanies you, so I assume you get it in a crest reward. Hang on, let's have a look. Let's have a look-see about that. Why can't I spell today? So, is it... What's it called? I thought it would be the... I'm just going to look at her thingy. There you go, Moon Devotion Robe. Looted from Isabel in numerous locations. Last Light if she is killed. Mind Flare Colony if she is kidnapped by Marcus or killed at Last Light Inn before dealing with the Night Song. In your camp in Act 3 if she accompanies you. But that's from if she's looted. So if you kill her in your camp, you can loot her from there. No, the only way to get this robe is for her to die. Which is a shame. Hi, Hammock. Good to have you here. Hello, Phantom Orochi. You as well. I see Shadowheart as more of a moon Selûnite. Could this way the character could be a sun Selûnite based off the sun? Or is Selûne all about the moon? Well, let's read about it. Selûne, also known as Our Lady of Silda, the Moon Maiden, and the Night White Lady, was the goddess of the moon in the Faerunian pantheon. Was? Interesting. In the 14th and 15th centuries of DR, she held the portfolios of the moon, stars, navigation, navigators, wanderers, questers, seekers, and all non-evil lycanthropes. Oh, I wish we had some way to be a werewolf in this game. I mean, I know there's a mod for it, but trying to keep the deity builds vanilla. In the time of ancient Neveril, she was a greater goddess. She held the portfolios of the moon, moonlight, and stars, beauty and purity, love and marriage. This bitch does everything. Diviners and dreams, good and neutral lycanthropes, and autumn. Hers was the moon's mysterious power, the heavenly force that governed the world's tides, and blah, 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 caused lycanthropes to shift form, and drew one to the brink of madness and back again. Her nature, appearance, and mood all changed with the phases of the moon. So her whole deal is the moon. She's not really... The sun is more Lathandar's thing. This could be an opportunity for the illustrious glowing rogue again. Remind me if that one's in this? That might have been from a while ago. Ancient paladins, light cleric. Well, her domains are... Let's actually look at her domains. Knowledge, life, and twilight. So light domain is actually not her thing. Obviously, if we had twilight without mods, I'd go for twilight immediately, but we have knowledge and life. Hello, Persona. Good to have you here. Don't ever worry about being late. I'm technically an hour earlier than usual. Swiss Army knife of a goddess, yeah. Oh, I see. I assumed it doesn't say killed in camp like the other ones do. Yeah, but it says looted, so that just means. Did we pick a class yet? No, we're literally just getting our information yet so far, right? And we're just kind of reading up on the goddess. Wolfheart Barbarian might work out. Yeah, I could see that. Although I kind of did that, if you guys remember a long time ago, I did like the full party build, which was the Wolf Pack, which kind of had Selûnite inspirations. So I've kind of already done that, because that was a Wolf Barbarian. Ancient's Paladin has access to Moonbeams, so it's nice to remember. Ooh, that's a good point, Miguel. I kind of wanted to see if we could do Paladin with this build, because I kind of like that as an option for Selûne. Let me have a look at Ancient's Paladin, because I don't use it nearly enough. Ancients. It'll come up anyway. Wait, no, that's not right. Where is... Or avoiding? Yeah, here we go. Oh, for the Ancient's Paladin. I could have just done that a bit simpler, but hey-ho. Yeah, Knowledge Domain could be fun. They're rare. Yeah, Knowledge could be interesting. But I'm not exactly... Because I could see this being a Cleric Paladin, but I could also see this being a Ranger, or part Druid, or something like that. Like, there's a lot to do with this deity, for sure. Wait, Ancient's Paladin Moon Druid? Interesting, Sarvis. How do you think that would work? On the Lathandar stream, I jokingly suggested a crack build for Rogue that just glows and blinds everyone. Then that's how they stealth. But then someone suggested Ranger. That could be funny. I'ma just lay back and lizard. Yeah, feel free to lurk, Edward. That's perfectly fine. Let me think here. Let me keep looking around. Hold on. I just kind of want to read up a little bit more. Shining Lands. Okay, that's more of like her actual history. Let's see. Description in both her avatars and her religious artwork. Selûne appeared in many forms, like phases of the moon. One was a dusty-skinned human woman with long limbs. Okay, yeah, that's more of like her actual description. Abilities. This might be where we can pull stuff from. When manifested as an avatar, she could cast a wide variety of magical spells, except those of the plot sphere and any that conjured darkness, so no darkness allowed. She would avoid reversed and injurious forms of healing spells and necromantic sphere spells unless absolutely necessary. She could freely cast divination spells. That's a potential hook. Let me just pull that up for later. Hold on. I can't spell today. Divination spells. Okay, there's not exactly a large amount to choose from. Is that it? Really? 6. 1 extra technically granted from an item. Never mind then, I guess. There's a potato root in my crisps. Why? Because crisps are made out of potatoes, Boundless. In Act 3, when Isabel and a friend joined our camp, I dominated her friend and then turned on the non-lethal passive and beat her down to unconscious. Looted her before her friend was undominated, and the next day everything was peachy and I had the robes. Interesting, Duncan. That's a very much a... That's a very interesting way of getting them. True Strike build? Technically already done that one. Ouch, Divination got screwed hard. Yeah. Hunter's Mark being... I guess the main one? Speak of Animals is obviously... I mean, we'll get that as part of the build if we went with Ancients. Anyway, Guidance... Man, that really sucks. It's roundabout, but it's still possible. Maybe I can mention it, but I can see stuff like that getting patched out in the future, because obviously the Karlach Infernal robe thing got patched out. Why is it that this robe design, like the only way to get significant versions of it, either the Infernal or the Moon robe, because they have the same model, is to kill an important, like, NPC? It's dumb. Part of me is thinking a cool Divine Spear hand in a similar vein to Dame Aelin, Wolfheart Barbarian, War Cleric, O for the Ancients. Maybe. But I don't really... I want to actually go for their domain with the deity builds. I don't want to choose War Cleric for Selûne, because that just isn't what she's about. I don't want to be doing exploits like that. Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm actually big on Beastmaster Ranger Life Cleric now. What, and have a Wolf Companion? Wait, we could do Beastmaster Ranger Ancients Paladin? That could be fun, because they both get spell slots. Let's keep reading on Selûne, and we'll see. And get, like, a Wolf Companion. I kind of like that. Oh my god, they were roommates. Boss, I noticed your profile picture is a bed. Shh, they're roommates. Why is my dog barking? Heard me talking about wolves. Oh no. To quote one of my friends, why do I need to kill lesbians for cool robes? Wait, because yeah, isn't technically, like, Karlach and Shadowheart a thing? I can't remember. I know Shadowheart was incredibly down bad for Karlach, but I'm not sure if that ever went anywhere actually in canon. If Selûne robes are off the table, maybe there's other stuff. Well, I can see it almost being like a medium armor build now, if we're kind of leaning down that Ranger Ancients Paladin route. Let me keep reading. Divination spells, even alongside other spells. And then Divination spells, that gets us Hunter's Mark as well. Her spells all had similar appearance, beginning as streaks of moonbeams and only revealing their true self when they struck. She radiated protection from evil to a distance of 100 yards, 90 meters, and no good summon creature within range could be dispelled or banished. Meanwhile, a holy word from automatically banished extraplanar beings. Okay, so this is more what the god herself can do. It's kind of just like a nice as a guideline, but I don't think we'll be able to get a lot of those abilities. Hello, Raheem. It'll go somewhere if you're playing a Shard. Yeah, I mean, you could use this for Shadowheart if you want, but I kind of want this build to be separate from Shadowheart. That's kind of the point. You have to ignore my dog barking in the background. I'm really sorry about that if you can hear it. I'm not 100% sure you can. He'll shut up in a minute. Paladin Rangers sounds cool, not very optimal, but cool. Well, if you went for something like Beastmaster mixed with Ancients, because, I mean, you get the extra sort of thing, and I mean, Ancients, you know, you'd get Moonbeam and such like that. I mean, it sounds cool, and it's something I've not done before, because I'm very reluctant to mix Beastmaster Ranger with other classes, just because the companion gets a bit weaker. But it could definitely work. There's a common version of the Selûnite robes with no enchantment. Yes, that is true. But they're a bit crap, aren't they? Sorry if I'm missing a bunch of chat, by the way. It seems like there's a lot of people here, which I wasn't really expecting, so my apologies for that. I'm trying to read as many as I can, but it's a bit tricky. I meant the Shark Karlach romance, not the build. Ranger Paladin can definitely work, it's just a touch mad. Kind of, yeah. There's ways of patching that up, but it depends on how much you want to get out of either thing. I mean, I could also see it being kind of like an Archer build as well, in a way, in which case there's ways of getting around it. Let me just scroll back up. You missed out on the Selûne. Yeah, that's true. We need a level of Cleric in there as well, somehow. You're right, the Wolf could potentially get in the way in Act 3. Yeah, I'd probably focus on the moon stuff more than anything else. Yeah, I'm starting to see what you're saying. I think over the Ancients Paladin is a good idea, at least. I think so. Because you get, like, a bit of healing, which kind of fits in with the Life Cleric kind of aspect, like the Life Domain aspect of Selûne. We get the nature-based stuff, we get Moonbeam, as well as Misty Step, which is nice. We get Speak with Animals and Ensnaring Strike, so that kind of fits the Ranger vibe already. We'd also get the Aura of Warding at level 7, allowing us to give resistance to damage from spells, which would be very nice, kind of a group tank sort of thing. I remember Selûne has a vengeful side, so Vengeance Paladin Axe works as well. Yeah, I'm going to keep having a look. Let's see if we can find the... Yeah, Worshippers of Selûne. Here we are. Selûne and her teachings of compassion and guidance were appealing to all folk who lived their lives by the moonlit night sky, and hence her faithful were a very diverse group. She was followed by those who were lost and those who were questing, sailors and navigators, those who travelled by stars, often prayed to the Night White Lady to protect them from Umberlee, the Queen of the Depths. Oh, so these two have a bit of a rivalry then. That's interesting. Others who laboured by night and honest work prayed for similar reasons, some sort of protection in the dark, from the dark forces of Shah. Lycanthropes, whether those of good heart neutrality or a few who relish their condition, honoured the Moon Maiden as the mistress of their nature. Okay. So maybe there's room in this somewhat for, like, kind of a, like, traveller type, maybe? Someone who is very nomadic, like, goes across the land. Ancient's Paladin War Cleric? War isn't one of Selûne's domains, so I'm not really down for that. Why not Nature Cleric? Again, I think we get enough nature influence from Oath of Ancients if we go that way. Like, because her domain isn't nature. If we scroll up, right? She just has connections to lycanthropes, and by extension, there's a bit of a nature-y side to her. I got an advert during a stream, damn you, YouTube. Yeah, I have the lowest possible ads set, because, like, basically YouTube isn't like, oh, you can turn these off. No, it's like, you can choose how frequently they show up, and I have it at, like, the lowest option. So yeah, so it's Knowledge, Life, and Twilight. Obviously, we don't have Twilight, but we could go with Knowledge or Life. I think one of those could work. Oath of Ancients, Life Cleric to be a tank/healer, Trickery domain. Nah, that's more Shah, Miguel. I don't get why Light isn't part of her domains, because I think, at least in this case, Life is more, Light even, is more of a, Lathandar thing. Because Twilight would be her light domain, right? It would be Twilight, whereas Lathandar is pure light. Hello, Mercury. Good time. First time watching a stream and it's not just a VOD. Well, thank you for coming. It's glad to hear you. Wait, YouTube has that too? I thought it was just Twitch. Yeah, no, YouTube has it too. Nothing I can really do about it. I'm surprised Twilight isn't in the game. It would be perfect for both Shadowheart routes. Yeah, I know. And when working with modded builds, it's definitely one of the more interesting ones I'm looking at. Because tomorrow, my first modded build comes out, and it is a Blade Singer, which I'm very much looking forward to showing off. Honestly, I feel like Paladin Cleric is a little bit overdone. I agree, because I think a few of my deity builds have been Paladin Cleric or a mixture of the two in some way. Twilight is also busted, though. A little bit. Let's see. Moon Devotion Robe. Yeah, because what does the Moon Devotion Robe actually give us that we would want? While wearing mage armor, each successful saving throw causes the source of the saving throw to take 1d4 radiant damage. Yeah. Yeah, it's advantage on con saves is really good. Lunar Bulwark, which is just mage armor, I think. Yes. And produce flame. See, this has so much good stuff about it, but you just can't get it. Not without doing evil shit. Which we definitely would not do. Beliefs, heresies. Those who believed in the Dark Moon Heresy held that Selûne and Shah were two faces of the same goddess. That is something I could work with in the future. Yeah, and then there's just a lot of general history and worship. Okay. I think I've read enough on Selûne herself, for sure. Man, I'm jealous of the PC right now as a PS5 player. Hey, apparently mods are coming to consoles, so who knows? Hello, Eclipse. Would a Druid Monk Werewolf style build work? Druid Monk Werewolf style. Do you want to elaborate on that a bit for me, Eclipse? Wait, there's a mod for Bladesinger? Yes, it's called the Expansion mod, because the mod was originally designed with the idea that it was going to add a lot of subclasses, but the guy who made it has only made Bladesinger for now. But it is definitely the definitive Bladesinger mod. It is the best. Yeah. Definitely. Same Fanto Xbox here. Yeah. Like, I was discussing it on the Discord, but I'm pretty sure, like, when they implement console mods, they're going to have, like, their own in-game client where you can just download them. So it should be fairly simple for when console mods do come around. The Two-Face one would make a great deity build. Yeah, I agree. Make the character a dirge. That way Selûne steals both of the two gods chosen. That could be funny. It's going to sound really weird, but you could do a rogue and cleric to parallel with Aelin. Ooh. Do you want to expand on that a bit more for me, boss? Kind of curious. Wait, mods are coming to PS5 and Xbox? Larian has stated that in a future patch, they plan to add official modding tools for PC modding, so official PC mod support, as well as console mod support as well. Larian has stated that. I don't know when it's coming or how true or how accurate it will be, but yes, hopefully my modded builds will be playable on console sometime in the future. I think the Dark Moon Heresy is referenced in the game. You can find a book discussing it in the shadow of the Selûne cave. Really? Interesting. Hope so, like they did with Skyrim. Yeah, that's how I think they're going to do it. I just hope they don't go the paid mods route, because I don't think Larian would, but who knows. I like the Silver Dragonborn for a Selûne character. Yeah, it could be a Dragonborn. Oh, I like that a Dirge Selûne sounds fun. Yeah, the Druid Monk idea wouldn't work too well, because you wouldn't be able to flurry in wolf form. True. However, I believe the Wild Strike ability, which is basically Wild Shape's extra attacks, stacks with regular extra attacks, so you could technically do a bit of a flurry of blows. Have we ever built something for Bane, Myrkul, and Bull? Well, obviously I've made Dark Urge builds for Bull, but not Bane or Myrkul yet. Moon Druid for the Wolf Wild Shape, and then Monk to unarmed attacks for Tavern Brawler. Yeah, because Tavern Brawler works in Wild Shape as well. I mean, that definitely could work, but we still want to get a Cleric level in there somewhere for the dialogue. That's the whole point. Let me just quickly pop on over to Cleric, actually. Give me a second, I'm kind of jumping all over. This is why I wanted to start and give us an extra hour, because I knew Selûne was going to be a tricky one to get a unanimous thing on. Definitely considering Paladin, need Cleric in there somewhere, considering Druid, considering maybe not Monk so much, because again, I've already done like a Cleric Monk build, and that was Ilmater. Hello, Arrhenius. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. What build are we all doing here? We're doing Selûne today. Building for Selûne. Rogue is really good at finding things. Okay, we'll take a look. Monk and Druid has a lot of cool synergy. Yeah, because I think the Unarmored Defense carries over to Wild Shape, doesn't it? Is Rune Knight in the mods? Yes, I have Rune Knight set up. I also have Echo Knight, which I was testing a little bit of as well. How bad does a level 1 dip into knowledge? Let's have a look. Cleric. I don't think it's bad. It's just usually if you go Knowledge Cleric, you want to go to level 2. Because with Knowledge Cleric, you get Blessings of Knowledge, which gives you proficiency in a choice of 2 of the following skills, which is Arcana, History, Nature, and Religion. And you'd get Command and Sleep. But if you go to level 2, you get Knowledge of the Ages, which is like the Githyanki Astral Knowledge ability, which it gives you basically proficiency in all skills of a certain stat until your next long rest. Usually if you're going to Knowledge Cleric, you want 2 levels of it. Domain spells, hold person slow, speak with dead. Yeah. That's more about other stuff. Hey Hobo, love your build turns. Thank you, Filibuster. Good to have you here on stream. Most stereotypical one would be Paladin Cleric, a mix, just like Aelin and Isabel. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Then. I just had a thought. Does this have to be a single build? Selûne is such a popular deity, and there's so many different concepts that could surround it. This could be a duo build. Like, because think about it, right? Aelin and, oh god, what's her name? Isabel. They're like 2 sides of the Selûnite coin. One is a big Aasimar paladin, and the other is more of a laid-back cleric. Why not do a duo build, mixing these kind of concepts? Maybe have one that goes for the more naturey vibe, another one that goes for the more frontline vibe. Could work. Let's have a look. Ancient's Paladin 2, Life Cleric sets 10 for a thematic Selûnite build. Dual wielding, finesse to the gloves of the balanced hands. Full spell progression, all smite levels destroy with orb plus reverb gear. A duo build, Twin Moons. Oh, the Twin Moons! I like that. Okay, that's good. Wild Shape's pretty much where built in light armor, yes. Honestly, a valid consideration. Duo build with Shadowheart if Selûne, maybe. How about a Knowledge Cleric Rogue to act as a skill monkey? I've done that before, Silverfin. One of my oldest builds is called the Greatest Detective, which was that. Just it wasn't Selûne themed. Alright then, Ancients plus Life, Divination plus Knowledge, maybe. Do it? Yeah. Make it a Githyanki's Circle of Selûne. It will have knowledge of the ages and... Yeah, I don't know. Githyanki aren't really about Selûne, though. An Ancient's Paladin / Druid or something, and a Knowledge Cleric with Divination Wizard. I almost want to fit, like, I almost want to go back to, like, the Beastmaster Ranger thing as well, maybe. Yeah, because then obviously maybe the divination spell, but, like, I guess wizard could work. I don't know. Now there's a lot more to consider. I also like the duo build idea. It didn't fit into my first message, but I'll essentially repeat the same thing. Aelin is the big upfront damage and flashy character. Rogues are the opposite, hiding in the back and often stealthing. Right, and that could kind of go into, like, the Twilight thing as well, boss. As a duo build, oh shit, I started something. Oh, the player character could be one, and you could build Shadowheart for the other. Okay, then how about this? We make Shadowheart the other one. Because, okay, think about it like this way, right? Shadowheart as a kind of roguish cleric, or something along those lines. Because this isn't like the Origin build series. I don't even have to make her a cleric if I don't want to. What if we have Shadowheart, like, it's literally a light and shadow thing going on the Twilight theme? One is more about frontline fighting and bringing down the moonlight, maybe the Ancient's Paladin route, and the other one is the more stealthy, hide in the kind of shadows of the moonlight type roguish thing that sits more in the back and maybe provides support while also sneaking around the battlefield. Shadowheart, if she falls into that sneaky roguish type thing, could be her taking her training from her Shah follower background and putting it into her Selûne style, I guess. I don't know. Something along those lines, maybe? I think a duo build works really, really well. We could literally take the Twilight theme and make it about light and darkness. One is light, one is darkness. I like that. But, like, both under the same... Not like darkness in, like, an evil way, but more like how moonlight is, like, it's like two sides of the same coin. Something along those lines. Trickery isn't really a Selûne thing, but we can make it work. Kinda. It's less about being, like, an ultra-stealthy, stabby-type rogue, and more of, like, I don't know, like a support from the shadows. It's hard to explain my exact thought process. Warning, Selûne does not officially have light as a domain. No, that's not what I'm talking about, Mike. Good to have here, by the way. I'm not talking about light, literal light domain. I'm talking about just moonlight. Shadowheart and Tav being Selûne lovers, like Aelin and Isabel. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Another ad? I'm really sorry about that, Voltage. Please install an ad blocker if you want. These streams don't exactly make me money anyway. I enjoy this. Yeah, I'm on my phone. Oh, okay, Voltage. Right. That makes sense. Hello, Sakrima. Good to have you here. For your D&D build videos, have you thought about using a slideshow or thematic images maybe generated amid... Absolutely not. No. Nothing against you, Sakrima, but I refuse to use AI-generated content on my channel 100%. I do not support it in any shape or form. Absolutely not. I want to support artists, and I want to support people in the industries that AI is trying to overtake. I am not going to use AI-generated content. Let that be a statement here and now. But I will never use AI-generated content on this channel. Like a lot of other content creators I've seen who have been using for their thumbnails. Not a dig at anybody. Just not personally cool with it myself. Sorry for that, everybody. The Gentle Darkness, to name the trope. Interesting, yeah, I like that, Silver. Arcane Trickster Red plus Trickery domain? Not for Selûne. No, I don't think so, boss. I want to stick to her domains. Maybe a healer with Thief Rogue levels for extra heals? Maybe, yes. Fighter Cleric, maybe? Could work. That's a statement that I'm personally very glad to hear from you. Yes, I appreciate that. Ancient/knowledge plus life thief. I could see the Ancient's Paladin and life domain actually being a thing, because Ancient's Paladin already has a thing about healing with Healing Radiance and Moonbeam and also the Aura of Warding, so mixing that with Life Cleric to get like protection and healing I think is a good theme. I might go with that, actually. I'm going to put this... I've got to just pull up my document real quick. Hold up. Let's go for the twin... I'm going to call this build the Twilight Moons. Or something along those lines. Or the Twin Moons or something. Something along those lines. Or... Twin Moons. And I think I like the first build being Oath of the Ancient's Paladin mixed with Life Cleric. I kind of like that. And I can see it being a 7-5 split. 7 on Oath of Ancients for Aura of Warding, 5 on Life Cleric. I quite like that. But Healing Radiance is not a spell. You need a lot of Paladin levels to make it strong. Yes, but it's still there. Yeah, it's proficiency bonus plus Paladin level plus Charisma modifier. That's the only issue we're going to have, is the Wisdom Charisma split, which I'll have to patch up somehow. A Twilight Princess, mayhaps? Hey, that's my favorite Zelda game. Selûne Ranger / Knowledge Cleric. If you like skill monkeys without rogue, this is it. The Bard dip is not outrageous either. I had no idea you could sneaky heal in Pathfinder. Hi, Bucky. Nice to have you here. Voltage taking one for the team with all the ads he's getting. Yeah, YouTube on mobile is atrocious. If you're on Android, look up YouTube Revanced. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I've never played a Paladin before, but I might just become an Oathbreaker in 3 seconds. Yeah, Oathbreaker is definitely one of the more fun ones. Shadowheart as a Beastmaster Knowledge Cleric would mesh well for a ton of skills. Interesting. How so, Sarbis? I like the 7-5 too. I kind of agree. But it's not a spell that combines with the Life Cleric trait. I know, it's not... I understand that, but I'm not just looking at this from a mechanical standpoint. I'm kind of just looking at it from a theming standpoint. And I like the mixture of the two. I mean, I'm down to change it. I mean, we've got life, knowledge... We've basically got life and knowledge to work with. As again, we don't have Twilight. iPhone? Sorry about that, Voltage. So yeah, for Life Domain, you get Disciple of Life. So you basically get a lot of different ways of, like, healing. Preserve Life as well, which is really nice. Basically, if we got to level 5, we'd get Revivify and Beacon of Hope, which is kind of nice. It's a shame we wouldn't be getting Blessed Healer, but again, this isn't meant to be a full healing build. It's just meant to kind of, like, exist with it. And if we go to level 5 of just regular Cleric anyway, we'd be getting, like, things like Destroy Undead for, like, the big Radiant damage. We'd be getting level 3 spells. There's a lot to go with here. Wait, I'm feeling lost. Are we doing a duo build with both Selûne and Shar? No, not Selûne and Shar, just Selûne. But, like, Selûne's whole thing is Twilight, so we're kind of going with a light and dark type theme, right? How many builds do you have for Oathbreaker? Oh, off the top of my head, there's the Dark Ronin. There's my Lae'zel build, which was the Blade of Vlaakith. Those are the two that I can think of off the top of my head. There's probably more. Maybe Ghostflame Blade? No, I think that was Ancients. Those are the two I can think of now. The Dark Ronin and the Bane of Vlaakith. Those are the two I can think of. Hello, Thiago. Why not an Ancients Paladin / Lore Bard? To keep with one for Charisma and the other Wisdom, because I want a Cleric level, at least anyway, for the, what do you call it, the dialogue. Although I guess if it's a duo build, you still could have the other one be a Cleric and then get the dialogue that way. But the idea is that Shadowheart would probably be the Cleric, right? Not the Paladin. That this is the main character, is the Tav. Hello, Josh. I'm thinking Beastmaster Knowledge. You get the final upgrade for your companion at level 11, and you need 2 levels of knowledge to get the Knowledge of Ages. So I don't know. Yeah, it's tricky there. Damn it! I also got an ad. Sorry about that, Hammock. I'm going to turn the sun off if I get another. Most of people go for Life Domain for Selûne. I would like to see the Knowledge for a change, but I'm not complaining because of how good it is. Yeah, I can see Knowledge, right? Let's have a look at what Knowledge would actually give us. It would give us Knowledge of the Ages, which would be great for someone who is the face of the party, with our higher Charisma score that we're going to have anyway. We could get Calm Emotions and Hold Person. We would also get Slow. Slow could be a very interesting battlefield control spell. 10 Ancients plus 2 Knowledge plus 3 Thief / 9 Life is what I'm proposing. Yeah, because I guess the bonus action from Thief would give us more healing words and such, so we could definitely keep up the healing. I've already played the Ancients like Life Cleric. The interactions are great, especially with a Romance Shard. A Paladin with Cleric levels gets that extra Paladin of dialogues. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is a new thing to wake up to this morning. Hi, Sean. Good to have you on the stream. Maybe Knowledge / Gloomstalker. Maybe. Yeah, I like what Matria said. That could potentially work. Maybe we focus more on the actual Paladin levels instead. Because we could go all the way in that. What would we get if we went that high in Paladin? Let me just double check. We've got 9 here. Protection. Yeah, that's the only thing. It's like the protection and energy and plant growth aren't the best, especially when you see Oath of Ancients over here with freaking haste. But we'd also get the Aura of Courage if we went to level 10. Oh, but then if you go to level 11, Improved Divine Smite is right there. And that is extra radiant damage on everything that we do. After all the deity builds, you should just do an anti-cleric build who just resents the gods. I kind of did that. That was the Godslayer Blade, if you remember that one, boss. Descendant builds would be great too. Yeah, I was about to say that kind of is the Godslayer, though. Man, this is the Minthara problem. I'm calling it the Minthara problem. Is that there's so many ideas that could work for this that I want to explore them all. On a level 1 dip into knowledge. 11-1, you already have an AoE heal with Paladin. That's true. Life is fine as a level 1 dip. And if we go that high, we have 3 level 3 slots, which is nice. And when you think about it, Divine Smite only scales up to level 4 anyway, so... Have we decided yet on the class? Not really, Phantom. we kind of have. So 11 Paladin, 1 Knowledge still works well. Yeah, so we're kind of debating between Knowledge and Life right now. Life would get us Disciple of Life, which would work with our healing spells. And Paladin does get healing spells anyway, I think. Because Life Domain just gives you 2 plus the spell's level and hit points. So, if I remember correctly, we do get healing spells as a Paladin, if I'm not completely stupid. Fairly soon we do. Yeah, we get Cure Wounds. We're not healing Word, I've noticed, interestingly. We could kind of use it as more of like a self-healing thing. Like, we keep it up. This would be so easy if we could play as an Aasimar. I mean, there is mods for it. I mean, I don't think this build is going to be reliant on race at all, so if you wanted to use a race mod, you could. Yeah. I'm leaning towards... Ancient's Paladin for sure. 11-1 would just be a Paladin with better healing. Yeah. See, okay, I think it's either an 11-1 split or a 7-5 split. That's what I'm leaning towards now. Definitely. Also, Channel Divinity and I think the Channel Oath are counter to spells, so they work with the free cast ability from Illithid powers. Would this build use Illithid powers? Currently doing a modded run as a Changeling Pugilist? That sounds cool. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Knowledge Domain could be interesting, because obviously we're just regular Cleric levels if we go back to Cleric. Yeah, we'd get things like Destroy Undead. We could get things like, yeah, Mass Healing Word. Glyph of Warding, which was another thing that we wanted for the sleep thing, wasn't it? I remember someone said that right at the start. Because again, Selûne's whole thing is sleep. Because if we go to the Chosen of Selûne Amulet of Selûne. Amulet of Selûne's Chosen. Just as an example, we get Selûne's Dream, which allows you to touch an ally to regain hit points, but they also possibly fall to sleep. So yeah. And then again, if we go to level 5, we'd also get something like Spirit Guardians as well, which is, I think someone just said in the chat, yeah. The high-level Cleric abilities you can keep to the second build? Yeah, maybe. Lawbard gets Warden of Life at level 6, so 6 split, so 6/6 life Cleric Bard split? Maybe, Jake, maybe. Dex gloves can have both Wisdom and Charisma at 16. Yeah, that's also true. How about Bard instead of Cleric? Okay, so are we talking about this for the Paladin thing? Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Because I see what you guys are going for here. Just let me have a look. Here we are. Let's have a look here at Bard. I mean, I could see it. But Paladin Bard is I mean, I've done that a bunch. It's better not to make a paladin with high charisma and wisdom. It's better to focus on charisma. Yeah, I know that. So, an 11 ancients, 1 knowledge, and 3 thief, 9 life. Yeah, I don't know. People are making a case for Bard now. Ancient 7, life 5, and then knowledge 2, Beastmaster Ranger 10. Maybe, Matthew, but then if you go to only 10 of Beast Ranger, at that point you might as well go to 11, because you get the extra attack on the companion. Not much point in going for a 2-10 split there. Maybe we should convert the whole party and make it 4 builds? Nah, it's too far. Bards can't choose gods, yeah. This would all be fixed if Larian just made it like a thing that you could choose a god regardless of your class, or at least make paladins be able to do it. The fact that that's not a thing is dumb. So life domain doesn't matter for paladin, that's why I gave it knowledge, right. Law 3, life 3, then Law 6, 3 life, 3 theft is one of the strongest healers. Okay, Zim, I think I understand why. Hello, oh goodness me, Rogezen? Sorry, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce what I can see there. You haven't missed much. We're debating Selûne right now. I want an Ancients Paladin, for sure, and we're kind of making it a duo build. So I'm definitely thinking like Ancients Paladin. Let me just write this down. Ancients Paladin mixed with something. You can just put 1 level into Life Cleric and the classic 2-10 Bardadin, tried and tested. Yeah, but is that Selûne, though? Is Cleric really mandatory? It is if you want the dialogue. Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. I'm looking at a... What does 3 levels of Bard give us? 1 second. 3 levels of Bard would give us up to level 2 spells. It would give us a subclass. We'd already be getting extra attack if we went to level 7 of Paladin. But then we'd only be getting 1 feat. So I was thinking of a 7-3-2 split, but I'm not too sure about it. But the Cleric Dialogue, Selûne is definitely worth it. I agree, especially with Shadowheart in the party. 100%. Selûne is not about art. Why would we pick Bard? I don't know. People were suggesting it because of charisma. You know, there's something that we haven't considered yet, and that's Druid. Druid could be something. Just maybe not. This is really, really tricky. I'm having a hard time with this one. 7-4-1 split? Maybe. That's a good point, boss. If it has a Selûne dialogue option, it's a Selûne build. Other than Ogma, Selûne is one of the most popular deities for bards. Interesting. Swords, knowledge, and ancients? Maybe. We're 50 minutes in and we still haven't decided a class? I know. This is where it's really tricky. This is the process I have to go through sometimes with these builds on my own. Do a 7-5 with Druid. Yeah, but that still brings up the wisdom and charisma problem that we would be facing. And I'm not even sure what subclass to go with, because Circle of the Moon doesn't offer us much. And that would be the one that would be the most on theme. 2 Ancients, 10 Moon. Oh, Hammock. You're actually kind of... That's... Wait. Maybe I'm looking at this all wrong. I was so focused on that. Maybe that could be the way that we do it. It'd be like Alien without too many... I see what you're talking about there, but... That seems a bit too spread thin. Because think about it, right? If we go with 2 levels of both for the Ancients, and I just realized my freaking music stopped. Yes, keep playing, please. Because if we go for 2 levels of Oath for the Ancients, right? We get our fighting style, we get Divine Smite. But then we go the rest of the way Circle of the Moon Druid. We could basically have, like, the ability to be a Lycanthrope in a certain way. Because we have a wolf form. We would have a bear form. We could do a werebear, like it was said in chat. But then also have an out of wild shape mode where you can do paladin stuff. Maybe. Yeah, Moon Druid, it fits on theme. It kind of leans into the Lycanthrope aspect. We'd get Moonbeam, because it's on the list. We could also get things like Hold Person, all that sort of thing. Then, if we keep going, we could get things like, I don't know, there's not too much from the Cleric, from the Druid spell list even, when you get really high up. Where Ravens are a thing too. They showcase in Ravenloft. Interesting. But that's the thing though, like, I guess Sarvis has just said, yeah, and Hammock as well, we don't get the Cleric stuff. Okay, but we're still thinking about this like it's one build. This is 2 builds, right? Right. I see what you mean as well, Mike. That's a good point. Every time I think I'm onto something, there's just something there that makes me question it. I definitely want this... I want this build to be a Charisma frontrunner with Paladin. There's one other thing we haven't considered, and I know it's a bit typical, but there is Sorcerer. Problem is, what does it give us that would make sense for this build? Because there's nothing here that immediately screams to me like Selûne or Radiant damage or anything like that. It would just be power. But then there's still Cleric. We should still have access to Cleric on both. Yeah. At least 1 level of Cleric is necessary. Yeah, I agree. This is what I'm thinking of. So the next time we have an issue building stuff, we're officially calling it the Minthara problem. Yeah. 1 second, everyone. Alright, I've returned. Let's see. Very quiet now, all of a sudden. I don't know what's playing. What is that? I'm just going to ignore that ad I just saw. Sure, let's do bold. Let's actually do something from... There you go. From the game that we're trying to talk about. Let's see. I don't know. I think Cleric is definitely the way to go, probably, just because... Or at least a level 1... Maybe I'm focused too much on the fact that of taking Paladin to level 7. Because obviously Aura of Warding is good. But is it worth it if we're hampering ourselves in our multi-class options, right? Wild Heart Barbarian. I could see that. That's pretty similar to something I've done before. And the Cleric Ranger for the support. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. But again, that's pretty similar to something I've done before. Hold on. I just want to check this since we're here. Yeah, here it is. Because what this was... I had the Wild Heart Barbarian Wolf and the Oath for the Ancients Paladin 8. I had a Circle of the Moon Druid, a Nature Cleric, and a Beastmaster Ranger. So if I feel like even if we're doing a duo build, if we're splitting that, like kind of along that way, we're basically just doing a weaker version of this. So I'm not 100% sure. All else fails, straw poll. Yeah, that's true. Another ad. Sorry about that, guys. Only so much I can do. Maybe... I'm leaning towards knowledge now. A little bit more. I don't know why. There might be room here for a 5-5-2 split. Like, because if we go for Paladin 5, we get Moonbeam and extra attack and all that anyway, which is the main things that we want. Then we could dip into Cleric in some shape or form, perhaps. Or maybe, maybe we could go for Life or Knowledge Domain for 2 levels, and then something else for 5 levels. Make one a 2 Knowledge 10 Moon Druid and the other an Ancients Paladin 4 Lawbard. Maybe. Knowledge and Divination? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, you know what? I think let's do a complete split then. Let's make it so hold on. Maybe we could do this a different way than I'm initially thinking of. Because if we lean into... Because the thing is, with Paladin, right? I'm wondering... I'm wondering if mainly... If maybe for the first build, right? We just go 11 of Ancients, 1 dip into Cleric, maybe? Maybe the Life Cleric, just for the dialogue. But then for the other one, we go for the... Because I'm seeing people saying, like, Wizard, like Divination Wizard... and Knowledge Cleric, which I actually kind of like, just like on the basis of if you go to Knowledge Cleric, you're going to get the whole Knowledge of the Ages thing, and then with the Divination Wizard, you could get, like, because our whole thing is divination magic, right? It was said on the wiki, so you could get things like Portent. I mean, you could also get the version of Portent that, where is it? Here. That can affect other things as well, like, and then at level 10, we'd get, like, big stuff. Maybe. I'm seeing people say yes. Ancients and Life and then Knowledge and Divination for the Twin Moons. Yeah, I can see that. According to her church, it was mostly composed of human women and the occasional lycanthrope, so I'm 100% down for a druid. I can see that too. Is it just me, or is mage the most boring thing ever in BG3 subclass-wise? Do you mean wizard? I don't necessarily agree with that. I understand that a lot of them can kind of blend together, as a lot of them don't affect, like, the basic function of the wizard that much. It just kind of adds on to it. Whereas some subclasses and other things can really change how a class works at its core, like, for example, Moon Druid. But I would argue the same for Cleric. I mean, the domains do a little bit more, but there's a lot of them, and again, the Cleric usually functions the same way as a base. I can kind of see what you mean. I beg you stop saying maybe, we'll be stuck on this forever. You know what? Let's just go with it. I think Ancients Paladin 11... Life, Cleric, 1 for the first build, and then for the second build, I will say Knowledge, Cleric 2, Divination, Wizard. Yeah, definitely the Warped Headband, probably. Well, no, probably not, actually. Because most of our levels are in Wizard, so I could see us just kind of having Knowledge maybe be at like a slightly base level, and go from there. One is Charisma Wisdom, one is Intelligence Wisdom. In a worst case scenario, we don't just need 2 people, that's true. Yeah, the stat spread is going to be a bit gimmicky, but... Wizard will feel slow at the beginning. That's true, but... Wizard will anyway, that's just how it works. But once you get up there in levels, it's fine. And I feel like you get enough stuff, because you can get things like... but then again... No, I'm going to go with it. We're going to be here forever, because... Again, the thing is, I feel like, though, Wizard just doesn't get enough, like, Radiant and thematic stuff. What do we get by making this a duo build? How did the builds complement each other? I mean... The only reason we were a duo build before was because there were so many different aspects to cover, right? But now when I'm looking at Wizard, I don't like it because I just don't see what we get from it that actually feels like Selûne. No, I'm really sorry, guys. I don't like it. Now, the more I think about it, the more I don't like it. I know. But... I want it to be a duo build. I mean, I could just do the simple thing. I just have one be all paladin and the other just be all cleric. I feel like that would work, because again, you're getting both sides of the coin there. There's not that much complication to it. You could go with life or knowledge and just get everything that you want. Hell, even if you went like with all the way into life domain, you'd get Divine Strike Radiant, adding radiant damage to your attacks. Maybe have the paladin be more of an up-close melee fighter and the cleric be more of a ranged archer, and then have them both applying radiant damage to their attacks, and then you'd get things like the healing from, you know, this side of things, and then you'd also get like the other stuff from paladin. Stuff like that, maybe. In my opinion, Ancient's Knowledge plus Wizard Divinations has more fun lore-wise. I agree, but I don't know. Howdy, Hopers, I'm glad to see you catch a scream. Love the work that you do. BG3 and the rest decided to see what you do next. Thank you, Alendi. It's nice to have you here. But then Shadowheart's the Paladin, since you want the Cleric dialogue. Well, I mean, we could take a 1-level dip into Paladin if we wanted. We would just be losing a feat. And I feel like the pure life cleric does fit into what Shadowheart does anyway, if you want to make the second build Shadowheart. One PAL 11 life 1, the other is PAL 2 life 10. Didn't I already do that? I think I did. I think that was the Shadowheart Selûne build, I think. Why not Warlock and grab Mask of Many Faces? Just go full Sailor Moon. I can see it just being like a really simple, just 2 sides of the same coin. I can definitely see it just being life. I maybe with Paladin, yeah, just go for the 11-1 and then the life domain 12. Because then if we go all the way to level 12 as well with Cleric, we would get... I could see an argument, though, because if we go for, like, the Divine Strike route, right? Where we want to get Divine Strike Radiant from life. I can see there being an argument for getting, something else, maybe from another class as well. I feel obligated to mention the Pathfinder First Edition has a Sailor Moon subclass for the Vigilant class, and it's exactly as silly as it sounds. That's quite funny. Tell you what. I think I'm ready to just kind of... Because I feel like with something as, like, prevalent in the game as Selûne, someone a lot of people would know from playing the game, I feel like having a more simple build makes a lot of sense. It's something that a lot of people can understand. Making it a duo build works as well. I mean, yes, it kind of just does feel like a Diet Coke version of Aelin and Isabel at the end of the day, but I think it could definitely still work. Yeah, I think making it simpler just works, I think. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make it... Yep, I've already got that there. And then we're going to do... Cleric 12. And I think making it kind of like with an archer theme on the cleric also kind of works, because that kind of leans into that more like naturey ranger aspect too. I mean, yes, it's not really going to be like a major part of the build. You're still mostly going to be casting spells, but having the ability to maybe with something like the Gontamale bow from Act 3 could definitely work. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to go with a gimmick on this. Something simple but effective just makes sense to me. Yeah. Yeah, alright, let's do that. And I'm going to say, because it took us so long to just get to this point, this took an hour, now that I have the general theming and the kind of leveling idea set out, do you guys just want to leave the equipment to me to do off stream? Because I feel like the equipment is fairly simple. I mean, I don't think there's a lot to really go with there. I can see the paladin either wielding like a greatsword or like a sword and board style. And then just go from there. Like, I think I could figure it out pretty easily on my own. Just for the sake of moving the fuck on, because I did not want that to take so long. And I genuinely apologize. I was probably boring as hell. Like, just back and forth on the thing so much. But I think at the end of the day, just going for the simplest thing makes the most sense. And I am perfectly content with that being the thing. Yeah, I think we've been on this for an hour. Let me handle the equipment on my own, and we'll move on from there. Let me just organize my document real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah. I see people talking about the Radiating Orb reverb strategy. I already did that with Lathandar, so I want to do something a bit different this time. Yeah, sorry about that. No, guys, I apologize for that. Selûne was a big thing, and I wanted you guys to be a part of it, but again, it's just so tricky. This is why the Deity Build series is what I kind of keep 2 streams. If I wanted to do something like this for every possible build, I would never get shit done, because that is the usual process of me just going back and forth and back and forth. I'm like, oh, this could work, or this could work, or this could work. And let me tell you, the modded classes did not help with that, because the amount of options I get, it just, it makes it so much more difficult, I tell you. The Twin Moons? Yeah, I have it as, like, it's either going to be called, like, the Twilight Moons or the Twin Moons. Something along those lines. Right, so... shall we vote on the next build? Or the next deity to cover? In fact, I think we go over the equipment so many times in these things, and it's usually what we get stuck on. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just come up with the classes for these deity builds, and I can figure out the equipment on my own, with suggestions from you guys if there's like some footnotes. I think that would work. I don't think we need to stress over the equipment so much, and that can make this a bit more chill. For sure. Yeah, and I want to stick to the in-game deities, so let me pull that up real quick. Preferably ones that can be selected by a cleric, because those are the most appealing because of the dialogue stuff. I'm going to go back to work soon, so I'm going to lurk the rest of the stream. Nice to have you here, Lambs. I'll see you later. I remember some popular ones being Grumsh has been suggested a few times, so I'm going to pop that in. Oh, no, that's the title. Wait. Let's just pick gods. Yeah, we'll go with Grumsh. We'll go with... I think, what was another popular one? Kalemvor, yep. Somebody suggested Helm a couple of times, so I'll look at that. Helm could be an interesting one. Because, again, we have to read up on the lore of the deities, too. Kalemvor, yep, God of the Dead. Somebody a long time ago, I forget who, they asked me to do, like, a Kalemvor as, like, a bounty hunter thing. Because Kalemvor is kind of about, like, judgment and such. I'm not sure. I might have to read up more about that. Shah seems like an obvious addition. Yeah, but I don't think she's actually selectable. No, only available to Shadowheart. Vecna, do Vecna. I'm keeping it to in-game deities for now, Jake. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Who else is here? Vlaakith. Vlaakith is available to Githyanki clerics, and that would give me an excuse to build a Githyanki again, which I like doing. So I'll plop Vlaakith on there. Yondala. Did I ever do Yondala? I can't remember. I've done Tymora, Thiago. I've done Tymora. Vlaakith's on there, yep. Have you ever considered building around the Force Conduit items? Multiple times. It's just there's not very many of them in the game, and most of them conflict with each other. Like, there's two-handed weapons and shields, which is dumb. I'll throw a tier on there, because I've seen it a couple of times. You mentioned it, but you never made them? You don't have I don't have a Yondala one? Did I? Did I not? Right, because Yondala was the one I was going to build, and then I cancelled the Deity Build series after that. I remember now. Right, I'll pop that on there. But I think what we've got now is a good enough selection to start with. So we've got Grumsh, which is like an orc god, I believe. Helm, which is like a god of protection. Kalemvor, which is like Vlaakith, Tyr, and Yondala. I think we've got some good options to start with. So let's go. Pasting in chat in 3, 2, 1. And then let me just grab the... Oh, it's doing the stupid thing again where I can't pin it for some reason. Oh. Yeah, you guys might have to catch it because I can't pin it, which is annoying. So make sure you catch it in chat. Right, I'm seeing Kalemvor, Vlaakith, Tyr, Yondala. Everyone's getting votes today. Kalemvor is up with 4. I thought it was either going to be Kalemvor or Vlaakith that took it, and it looks like I'm about right. Vlaakith is going up there. It's pretty good. Kalemvor's Reaper, Trickery 2, Gloomstalker 5, Assassin 5. Pretty interesting. What's the Trickery 2 doing for you? I know you get, like, the illusion that can, like, give you advantage, which I can see why that would work, for sure. For Tyr, make it a Viking build. Oh yeah, if we're doing Tyr, we're absolutely going into the Norse origins, because I love the Nordic pantheon. So good. Kalemvor is as lawful neutral as it gets alongside Helm. Not much room to maneuver role-playing wise. Yeah. Cleric options and the illusion, yeah. Right, well, Vlaakith. Definitely up there. I'm just curious, what is Vlaakith's domain considered? Vlaakith, yeah, known as the Lich Queen, was the ruler of the Githyanki race, still is in Baldur's Gate 3. Doesn't actually have a domain, interestingly enough. While Kalemvor would be awesome, none of the in-game cleric domains really work well with his. Death, probably. The thing is that Kalemvor hates necromancers. You'd have to skip on a lot of the necromancy spells that raise the dead. That's true. Yeah, she's literally just a lich, isn't he? I didn't know if they maybe would, like, consider her to have a domain. Because then, it's interesting that she's even a cleric option, then. I know she's not a real god. I was just... Vlaakith's domain is bullshit. I like that. The bullshit domain. Yeah, I knew she wasn't a real god, but I didn't know if there was, like, something that they just kind of associated her with. Let me just double check the poll. Yeah, Vlaakith's definitely won by the looks of it, so we'll be doing Vlaakith next. Let's do Vlaakith then. Vlaakith... I mean, I know quite a bit about her anyway, just from the game. How do we make this work? Vlaakith is just war. It feels like it. And that's pretty good as a one-level dip, so we have a lot of freedom to just do whatever. Binch, lich, or lich binch. Yeah. So we're gonna do Vlaakith. Let me actually pull her up in-game. We're not a god in the traditional sense. The Lich Queen is the sole represented leader of the Githyanki. She encourages worship and unquestioning devotion, essentially acting as a deity. Right. Let's actually look at her dedicated page on the wiki then. Spoiler warning, obviously, if you've not done like the Vlaakith related stuff in game, there might be a couple of spoilers here. In fact, I'll try not to look at that actually. Vlaakith is the imperious queen of the Githyanki, a deathless lich in nearly divine strength. Yeah. Yeah, basically the main thing. Yeah. So I mean, obviously we're going to be building a Githyanki, right? That's fairly obvious, I think. What do I even... I'll just put Vlaakith for now. Right, so Vlaakith. Cleric fighter? Yeah, I can see that. I love a Vlaakith cleric going rogue and choosing another deity. Then look at my Lae'zel build. It's kind of like that. War cleric, necromancer, wizard. I don't know. I feel like this build would less be more like trying to replicate the lich stuff of Vlaakith and just being one of those like Githyanki that are like her really, really close like guard. Because there's a couple of them, right? Yeah, so the Gith with some dragon stuff. Yeah, wasn't that the thing? There was like Gith. I know they ride the dragons, but aren't there the Githyanki that also like genuine like have like dragon stuff like in them? Or am I wrong? Am I right about that? No. This isn't going to be a duo build. I want this to be a single build. That's because of Tiamat, if I recall correctly. Is there R? I don't know. I'm trying to remember. There was something about really close. Can Paladin and Oaths stick with Vlaakith without failing? I don't know. I can see this being a bit more of a, less of a holy warrior like a paladin. I don't think this build is a paladin. I don't. As much as I made Lae'zel a paladin, at the time that made sense. Now I'm thinking, like, because she's not actually a deity, paladin doesn't make as much sense to me now. I think she's something else. Absolutely. I think this build is something else. I think this is going to be a more martial-focused build, for sure. Great Old One Warlock? That's a bit more like Cthulhu-esque. Tiamat gave the gift to dragons? Paladins aren't linked to deities? Yes, I know, but the general perception of them kind of is. You can swear an oath to a lich and be fine, no worries there. Yeah, but okay, but also look at this from my perspective. How many of my deity builds are paladins? I gotta shake it up sometime. I suppose a Gish or a Kithrak. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Jason. Good to have you here, by the way. The Gith have a dragons due to Big Mama Gith permanently relocating to the Hells and dealing with Tiamat? Right. Well, Paladin doesn't necessarily need a deity, but it feels like... But this doesn't feel like a Paladin either. Yeah. Paladins get power from oaths, thus they don't choose a god. Right, I understand what you mean. Actually, Great Old One is not Cthulhu. It literally mentions Cthulhu in the class description in the D&D books. He's straight up named. Monk War Cleric, since Githyanki come from Githzerai, which are monks. That's true. That could be something. Draconic Sorcerer or Shadow Monk for those sweet psionic attacks. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because if you remember then... but then I feel like the monk stuff is closer to Orpheus, which is a weird thing to say. But Orpheus was the one that was more the monkish type, where if you think of the followers of Vlaakith, you think of Lae'zel, you think of Kithrak Voss, who obviously changes sides, but you think of like the Inquisitor. None of them are very monk-like. They're more about battling with weapons. The Githzerai are more monkish, but the Githyanki, who are following Vlaakith, are more battle warriors that use all types of weapons, right? I was looking at Mordekainen's Tone of Foes. Ah, okay. Piking Warlock would be rather unique. What, like a Warlock with like a spear? But that's the problem, though, is if we're looking at making something that is heavily based on Githyanki lore, you kind of need the Githyanki stuff, right? Which, again, doesn't really make it... Yeah, because you get things like because they fight with like great swords, long swords, and we have all this other stuff here. I mean, I know it's kind of like similar to things I've done before, but you get what I mean, right? Goo. Entities of this type include Chifanda, called that which likes Ferris in the Chain Gun, as a great Cthulhu, and other unfathomable beings. But then I'd argue even more so, Duncan, that Goo does not fit Vlaakith at all, because she's not an unfathomable being. She's just a bitch. Barbarian for the racism. What does being a barbarian have to do with racism? War Cleric Fighter makes sense. Maybe Battle Master if you're more Fighter, Champion if you're more Cleric. Imagine Vlaakith learning that a Gith has taken a patron. Exactly. Abingus, hello. Maybe a monk with a sword? I've never really looked into the third monk class. The one that is an element of open hand. No, that's Shadow. I think my build on Monday is actually a Fighter monk mix. Hobo, we see bench around these parts. Fair enough. Gish get up to level 4 spells. Kithrak have plane shift and telekinesis. Right. So maybe then... Hold on. Does anybody know where I can find a decent page on like the really close, like the Githyanki who are really close to Vlaakith? Because I swear they had like dragon blood or some shit, if I'm trying to remember that correctly. Because I can see Fighter Sorcerer, in a way, getting those level 4 spells like Kithrak do. And I don't think the Illithid powers would come up, right? Because... Is it on the Githyanki page? Hold on. If my computer actually wants to type, that'd be great. Githyanki. Is there anything here? Githyanki are tall and slender humanoids as a result of their long... all Githyanki possess psionic abilities. They were all capable of minor telekinesis in a similar fashion to the Mage Hand spell. I could also hone their abilities to become capable of innately casting Jump and Misty Step. Combat. Why does Warlock have 2 patrons for undead? Yeah, it's undead and undying. One is more undead making zombies, the other is undying as in you try and be immortal. Go full Gandalf and have a Sork fighter who dual wields staff and sword? That could actually be cool. Draconic Sorcerer Gith exist? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I'm just trying to find, like... the Gustiel were healers. The Vatharin were responsible for converting energy into materials. The Suns were seers. I'm trying to find the bit. A Githyanki riding a red dragon facing a Githzerai. A small contingent of red dragons and high 7 Githyanki. They served as riders dutifully. I wish you guys could send links in chat without YouTube absolutely destroying you. Eldritch Knight plus Draconic Bloodline would be a decent hybrid. Quicken Spell plus Action Surge goes hard. No, I don't think the Githyanki themselves have draconic blood in them, but I remember something about, like, Vlaakith's highest honor guard having something, like, they were basically given, like, some sort of dragon augmentation beyond just, you know, the other stuff, right? I'm pretty sure. Sorry, what did Matria say? I think I missed it. Hold on, if this is the premise behind the series of making a chosen one, wouldn't that be a wizard to give Vlaakith more power after consuming their soul? Does Vlaakith consume souls? I guess that makes sense as a lich, yeah. Okay, call me dumb. Where does the wizard influence come from there? She does? Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that she's a lich. Duthkagif, you just reached past it. Sorry, what? Oh, here they are. Vlaakith also devised a method to infuse red dragon blood into newborn Githyanki, which resulted in the creation of a new hybrid race known as the Dugakith. Generally despised by the rest of Githyanki society, the Dugakith serves as elite shock warriors and palace guards. That's what I was looking for. Yes. Necromancy wizard. It could still be a sorcerer, but I would still pick the full mage build. Right. But yeah, that's what I was thinking of, the Dugakith. However the hell that's pronounced. Yeah. So, a red draconic sorcerer mixed with a warrior, right? Yeah. So it's right here. Fights a draconic sorcerer. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Wait. Maybe we could put the whole gathering souls thing into the lore. What if this character is Vlaakith's basically Grim Reaper? Like somebody who she infused with the power of the Red Dragon, the highest of her Dugakith shock warriors, like her the most elite warriors in her arsenal, who goes across the land, obviously furthering her goals and like fighting against the mind flayers and all that, but at the same time, their deliberate objective is to reap and harvest souls to keep Vlaakith alive. Shit, I like it. The Reaper of Vlaakith. Yes, Hammock, you get it. That's what we're doing. The Reaper of Vlaakith. Abso-friggin-lutely. I love it. Yep, I agree. I really like that theming. So, if we go with that, then we just need to figure out exactly what we want for classes. People are saying fighter, sorcerer, and I agree. I think draconic bloodline sorcerer needs to be in here somewhere. And I don't know, do we need to have... Okay, this is something you guys need to tell me about Baldur's Gate 3. Do you need Vlaakith, like a Githyanki Vlaakith cleric, to have Vlaakith-related dialogue, or does that just come from being a Githyanki? Vlaakith's Grim Reminder. I like that too, Sin. The fact that Vlaakith steals souls seems not to be widely known, though, since Lae'zel was not aware of it. Well, here's the thing. I forget, do the Githyanki as a whole even know that she's a lich? I'm not entirely sure. I'd imagine that there's probably extra stuff for having a cleric level. Cleric would certainly get you more. Oh god, my friend is going to be happy when this build comes out. The only thing missing is a silver scythe. Yes! Oh my god, that would be amazing. I would have assumed that Vlaakith actually had shared her stole stealing shenanigans with a gift, which I don't see Vlaakith sharing that ever. I know, but there could be like one above all. Like the whole point is this is like Vlaakith's chosen, and I think that would be why she chose them. It's a closely guarded secret. She's known as the Lich Queen. Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't know how widely known that is for most people. She's famously known as the Lich Queen. Okay. They know she's a lich. Lae'zel does mention it when Astarion reveals he's a vampire. Okay, so they do know. So then, surely most Githyanki would be able to come to the conclusion that, you know, she must steal souls in some shape or form, right? Yeah. There is more dialogue if you're a Gith cleric of Vlaakith. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking then. A dip into War Cleric, which would just help the martial stuff anyway. Draconic Sorcerer levels, possibly up to level 5 or 6. Probably 6. So maybe a 6-5-1 split. 5 in Fighter, 6 in Draconic Sorcerer, 1 in War Cleric. That gets us a big dollop of spell slots, extra damage on fire spells, because obviously we could use fire spells as a Draconic Sorcerer, with the red dragon kind of lineage. Then we could also get the fighter stuff as well for the melee combat. And then, yeah, dip into War Cleric for the extra attacks. Ah, nice. Okay, see you, Voltage. There is more dialogue if you're... she is known as a lich, but not as stealing souls of the Ascended. No, indoctrination doesn't let them think logically about Vlaakith. I guess that makes sense, yes. 5 fighter, 6 sorcerer, 1 cleric, yeah. She's been ruling for 1,000 years. She better be undead, even on the astral plane time. That's true. Drop fighter? Why not? Why fighter? Why not fighter? Yes, the souls of the Gith are effective. There is no purification. It does help the Vlaakith has been gaslighting them for generations. Yeah, that does make sense. 6 fighter, 5 sorcerer gets you 1 more feat. That's also true. Justice for fighters. What about 2 war cleric, 10 draconic sorcerer? I get that, but when you think... Okay, so think about it like this. I mean, when I picture this in my head, I just see a Githyanki with a weapon. That's just me. Go Bard, Sorcerer, War Cleric. Bard feels too... Fancy's not the right word. Too... I don't know. It doesn't feel serious enough, in my opinion. So is this character's mum Vlaakith and father a dragon? No. It's like Vlaakith literally did experiments on like her highest ranked soldiers that infused them with dragon blood. You already get a lot of weapon proficiency, so we don't need fighter. War drums are thematic, I guess. No, I don't think Bard. Like, okay, so people are saying Warlock. The thing is you can still use their weapon and armor, just not have the extra attack. That's true. Yeah, Bards feel too silly. I agree. War Cleric would be making weapon attacks and casting spells in the same turn. Yeah, that's true. 5 Eldritch Knight, 1 War, 6 Abjuration is absolutely an unkillable machine and it fits the traditional Gith. Yeah, I see that. Maybe 6 Fighter, 1 Cleric, 5 Sword, cause the 6th level of Sorcerer more useful. It depends on if we really want to lean into the Red Dragon aspect, and maybe have a focus on Fire, because then at level 6 we'd be able to add a Charisma modifier to the damage of any Fire spell that we do. And we would get a lot of useful fire spells. You know, we could get things like Firebolt, Burning Hands, Scorching Ray, Fireball. Could be really good. In which case, it would pack a lot of extra punch. We'd also be getting things like Haste, Counterspell. There would just be a lot of general usage there. 6 Warlock, 5 Sorcerer, 1 Cleric. What do we get for the 6 Sorcerer in contrast to the extra 6 feet from Fighter? That's what I was just explaining. You'd get more damage on spells. Unless we wanted to go for the level 6 feat from Fighter. Because, I mean, that would obviously give us a lot. Let me see here. We'd also get the fighting style as well. Great weapon fighting or dueling or whatever we want to go with. And then obviously there's Battle Master where you could get the maneuvers. Eldritch Knight where you could get more spell slots overall. You also get Weapon Bond, which is a very psychic thing. And then extra attack and a feat. Guys, we need to commit. Yeah, I know. I know people are saying the feat. Fire and Psychic. You are the mild fever of the Lich Queen. Okay, that's pretty funny. I mean, I can see the argument people are making for Warlock. And I guess I could see you can make them Great Old One, and that could be like you could go for the fear aspect, like critical hits, you'd get the psychic stuff. And then we'd also be single ability score dependent, going for... And then obviously Pact to the Blade would still get us extra attack. We could use Charisma for the attack and damage rolls. We would get more psychic spells, like Fear, Hypnotic Pattern. I can see that. I definitely can. Phantasmal Force, Crown of Madness. Hi, Vlad. Good to have you here. Yeah, let's get that feat. See, this is tricky. 6 Sorcerer, 6 Pact to the Blade Warlock, and take Armor feat. Don't GIF have medium armor as a race bonus? Yes, they do. Vlaakith is great and old. That's true. If you're going with Vlaakith to show that if you're going with Warlock to show that Vlaakith isn't a real god, then why have it be a cleric option in the first place? I don't know. There is an avatar of Vlaakith on the wiki. Hold on. Let's have a look. Where is it? Sorry. Where are you seeing that? Dex. I don't see the argument for Warlock. It's more mechanical, I think. Just because of the psychic stuff and the fact that we could just put everything into Charisma. The only Warlock in Gift Society is Vlaakith of Stealth. Her power did not just come from Undeath. I see. Okay, thank you. BG3 Wiki. Oh, it's on BG3 Wiki. Oh, that's why I'm not finding it. Here it is. Oh, it's this person. Chirai Tuscan is a Githyanki NPC encountered in Act 2. She will always be hostile. And a group of Gith will ambush the party if they're approaching the road to Baldur's Gate waypoint, carrying this. In combat, she functions as a Gish and a Warlock. If she is not killed in Act 2, she can be fought in the Knights of the Shield hideout in Act 3. So she is a Warlock, then. So there is precedent for it in the game. Interesting. And she is Warcaster as well. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, title, The Avatar of Vlaakith. Not very strong, then. Friggin' level 9 Act 2 encounter. Yeah. So there is a precedent for it. She's literally getting, like, Warlock abilities from Vlaakith, then, surely. To me, that makes sense. Yeah, and I personally see this being a Great Old One Sorlock mixed with Draconic Bloodline with a 1-level dip into War Cleric. I see that as being it. We get enough Psychic stuff to satisfy the Githyanki side of things. We get enough Sorcerer stuff to satisfy the Red Dragon side of things. And we get the level of War Cleric for the, the dialogue. So I'm thinking Pact to the Blade Sorlock, 5 Goo Warlock, 6 Draconic Sorcerer, 1 War Cleric. Because the level 6 Great Old One feature is just Entropic Ward, which is okay. It imposes disadvantage on 1 attack roll per short rest, and then if it misses, you gain advantage on your next attack roll. Once per short... If that wasn't once per short rest, I'd be going for it, but it is once per short rest, so yeah. Especially since a Lich can be a patron according to the 5e rules. I agree. I lock it in. Yep, I absolutely think this is it. So, let's do it. 2 Warlock, 5 with the Blade Pact. We are going to do Draconic Sorcerer, 6 with the Red Dragon influence, and a 1-level dip into War Cleric for the dialogue. Boom! Yeah, I think that works. And I think the weapons and other things are fairly obvious. Because there's a lot of Githyanki gear in the game, right? Like, we just basically go for that. I mean, I can see this just being like a great sword build like most other Githyanki, but the thing is you can build this in so many different ways. Like, so obviously there's the Silver Sword of the Astral Plane, which you could nick from Voss towards the endgame. You can get the Soulbreaker Greatsword in the meantime, which is basically just a slightly weaker version. You get things like the Soulbreaker, which is extra psychic attacks. I mean, I know... Obviously, now this is where you guys have to tell me. This is kind of the last thing... I know Blade Warlocks get extra attacked. Yeah. Yeah, we do get extra attacks in. Yeah. Yeah, and the equipment's really easy. The only thing we have to kind of discuss in relation to this is the Illithid powers. Do we allow them on this build? Because there's a problem where it's like, we're taking Illithid powers, which is like the big enemy of the Githyanki, but at the same time, it's a lot of psychic stuff that we like. I don't think so. I just kind of wanted to get your opinion on this before I close this one out, because again, I think it just makes more sense for me to go over the equipment and stuff in my own time. No, absolutely not. Yeah, I agree. Too bad you can't get Voss's Silver Sword unless you kill him. Well, I mean, I don't know if that exploit ever got fixed, but you can get it without killing him. Yeah, no, I agree. No Githyanki powers in this run. Not Githyanki, Illithid powers in this run. Yeah, absolutely makes sense. Right, fair enough. We have got a Goo Warlock, a Draconic Sorcerer, and a War Cleric for that one. Perfect. Makes a ton of sense. And I will figure out the equipment on my own. It should be fairly simple. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. Voss is a trader. That is true. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, so let's get back to some deities here. Cyric is in the game? I didn't realize that. I didn't realize, I guess... I think in my head I'm getting him mixed up with Karthus. Okay, I'll remember that Cyric is actually in the game. Alright, so let's maybe hold another poll for the next one. So I think we were going for... Cyric's Cloak is literally equipable. Whoops. Cyric is mentioned a couple of times. Just can't be selected, yeah. If it doesn't have a symbol, it can't be chosen. Yeah, I wish Larian let us choose our deity without being a cleric. That would be a huge thing. Right, I'm going to put the ones that we had on before here. We also had M4... We had... Who else was on here? Elm was on here as well. Done these guys. Done this. Done that. Done that. I guess I never did... I never did a Mystra deity build, really. Technically throw that on there. Never did Ogma. I'm just putting all the ones that I don't have on here. Tyr, Yondala. Yeah, Tyr was on there. Tyr was a popular choice. Not try, Tyr. Yondala was on there. I know we have a cool chair. Yeah. Is anything going to happen to this class after the Crushes whole thing? Like how you had Lae'zel break her oath? Oh no, this guy would absolutely side with Vlaakith the whole time. 100%. They're the last guy we built. As a Helm Cleric, you can convert Moradin? That's interesting. Mistra build sounds boring? Why? I know you could make a really interesting build with Cleric and Abjuration Wizard, which I've done before. Sylvanas, Tempus I've already done, Tiamat I've already done, Tymora I've already done, Tears on the list, Vlaakith, Yondala. I think I've pretty much got everybody. Jurgle, Ilmater, Helm, Grimskond. I never did Garl Glitter Gold. I'll put him on the list. Could be funny. Cyric, Corellian, Lorethian. Technically haven't done him, but I'll leave him for now because he's kind of part of the Eilistraee stuff. Our Gif Reaper probably ascended and wasn't eaten like Voss. Yeah. Right. Let's get this started. Right, and 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let me pin it this time. Yeah, let me pin it this time. There we go. Pin message. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't let me do it. I have to be really finicky with it. There we go. A Bane follower could be exciting. I might make the Dead 3 one big video. That could be a really fun like celebration of like the end of the Deity Build series. I make the Dead 3 one big video. It's 3 builds. And I showcase them all together. That could be fun. Oh. Show results. There we go. Yeah, what was I expecting? I'm finding there's an interesting amount of people voting for Garl Glitter Gold for the memes. Vote Garl for president. There we go. Bane follower could be exciting, yeah. I guess Gond is in the game, sort of, yeah, but he's not selectable. I'm focusing mainly on the selectable ones. There's no point in doing Ball, though. I know, I've got the Dark Urge stuff already, but there's always different takes I can do on it. Yeah, I wish Dirge did have access to Ball. That would be pretty good. I'm sad Mistra isn't popular. She's popular with Gale. Versus Jurgle's chosen. Yeah, that could be really cool. I heckin' love gnomes. As a Kalemvor cleric, you kind of recognize Withers. The dialogue when you meet him in the ruins is dope. Interesting, Meowmix. I'll have to look at that. Garl Glittergold is known to be a prankster. It'd be fun to see what we can come up with. Well, Garl Glittergold would be a trickery cleric then, wouldn't he? But less of a Shah thing and more of a fun thing. Our Sharess was a gnome? Yeah. But it looks like Kalemvor is pretty much the winner. Jurgle would be funny. We could pray to him in person. I know there's a deity mod where you can choose Ow. Yeah, if somebody could just like make a deity mod that just adds like a bunch of other deities just so you can still select them, that'd be kind of cool. But it wouldn't really matter unless they like give you dialogue somehow. Is Jurgle an option, or are you all joking about Withers? It kind of came up from the fact that, like, if I made, like, a video based on the Dead 3, I'd kind of have to include Jurgle as a part of it. But anyway, it looks like Kalemvor is the winner, so he is going to be the one that we're going to work on. Let's have a look at him. For God of the Dead, lawful neutral, associated domains, death, and grave. Well, that automatically gives us a problem. Fair but distant, Kalemvor guides the dead to their appropriate plane in the afterlife. His clergy provides last rites across Faerûn, but also destroy undead that have escaped Kalemvor's judgment. His deity can be selected by a cleric. Well, let's search him up. Kalemvor, pronounced Kalemvor, good, I'm glad that one's easy to pronounce. Formerly Kalemvor Lionsbane, also known as the Lord of the Dead and the Judge of the Damned, was the god of faith and the dead and the master of the Crystal Spire in the Fugue Plane. I'll unpin the thingy now. There you go. In his mortal days, Kalemvor was a skilled mercenary and adventurer with a heart of a noble paladin concealed under rude manners and thwarted by his mysterious family curse. So he's actually someone who was a mortal and ascended to godhood. That's interesting. When he was killed by the mortal Cyric, interesting, atop Blackstaff Tower, Kalemvor's soul was absorbed into Cyric's sentient sword, Godsbane. In fact, Mars, the god of thieves in disguise. There's so much complex stuff going on here. Hidden away in a prison for 10 years, his soul became pawn in the mask scheme to undo the now divine Cyric. Kalemvor ultimately escaped, led a revolt of the denizens of the City of the Dead, and defeated the Mad God, and was acclaimed by the diseased souls as the new god of death and the dead. That is very interesting. Fair yet cold, Kalemvor was the god of dead and the death, and was the most recent deity to hold this position following the footsteps of Jurgle, Merkel, and Cyric. Unlike these other deities who rule as gods of the dead made the afterlife an uncertain and fearful thing, Kalemvor promoted that death was a natural part of life, and should not be feared as long as it was understood. Okay. Look not upon our sins, master of scales, but measure your worth, the worth of your most grateful dead. The deaf clergy, as they were known, had many duties, most involved tending to the last wishes of the dying and providing burial services to those who died alone. They also set out to cure diseases and defend people from monsters, so that folk did not die before their time. Their final and arguably most important task was the destruction of undeath in all its various forms, as it was an affront to Kalemvor. Elite priests of Kalemvor were known as Doom Guides, servants of What? Doom Guide? Yo! Doom Guides were the specialty priests, clerics, and paladins of other devotees who served the god of death Kalemvor. They lent their aid to the people of Faerun, but helping them with their fears and death. In order was to best rid out all forms of necromancy and destroy all manner of their undead servitors. Oh, shit. Yeah, Doom Guide. That's kind of what I was thinking. Wait, we could do something really interesting with that. Doom Guide. That's just the name of the build. Kalemvor's Doom Guide. Holy crap. Okay, but hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I don't think... I know. It says clerics and paladins. I know. But... I'm thinking something else. Thinking something else. Ranger? What? Why are there people talking? Oh, okay. Yeah. This is what I'm thinking. So we go with something like Hunter Ranger. Hear me out. We could get Horde Breaker, which is all about breaking down undead hordes, so summoned undead, right? You could get things like multi-attack defense, escape the horde. You could get things like volley. But the thing is, we would get Sanctified Stalker, so we could get things like Sacred Flame and like other stuff. Ranger Knight, heavy armor proficiency, so we can still be the big heavy armor doom guy. We could get things like poison resistance, stuff like that. Urban Tracker. Or we could get specialized ranged attacks. Hail of Thorns, Ensnaring Strike. Sounds similar to the Lathandar build, I guess. And then we go with a crossbow, getting these enhanced ranged attacks. Right? I mean, and we could get something like Volley, which would be another kind of ranged attack. And isn't there a bunch of items that grant advantage or extra damage against undead? Yes. And at least level 2 of Cleric for the turn undead. Right, I agree. But I could see... What exactly? Let me just double check. What was the exact build for this one? All right. Hunter Ranger 5, Light Cleric 7. Well, what if we make this a Paladin Ranger instead? Right? Or I guess turn undead. But then that's more of... So I really like the idea of, like, the inspiration coming from, you know, Doom Guy from the Doom series mixed in with this kind of thing. Crossbow Expert, Hand Crossbows, Hunter with Hordebreaker, and the rest Cleric. Gandriel's Crossbow allows you to turn undead. Gandriel's Crossbow, can I read that? Let me just touch that one real quick. Not Fextra Life, thank you very much. Gandriel's Crossbow. You have advantage against monstrosity-type enemies. Sacred Munitions. Infuse your crossbow with bolts of holy energy. For the rest of this turn, your ranged weapon attacks inflict turned undead. Is that... Oh, but it's a short rest recharge. That sucks. Whereas turn undead is... as well, I suppose, in that regard, this takes Channel Divinity, which is only once per short rest anyway. Gandriel's Crossbow turns undead with no save. If we go ranged combatant, then maybe Paladin is pointless. Not necessarily. Not necessarily, and I will show you why. Because of a little thing... Hold on, Paladin. Because of a little thing called... Where is it? How high do we have to go for it? Actually, maybe you're right. Well, there's Blinding Smite. Where's Branding Smite? Branding Smite's level 2. Yes. Where is it? I can't find it. There we go. Branding Smite. Which would allow us to smite on ranged attacks. Yes. Turn Undead is also for short rest. Yes, that's true. It requires you to kill Gandriel. There's also the long arm of the Gur. Hold on. Let's have a look at that one. It's a +2 crossbow. Revenant Scourge. When used against undead creatures, this weapon has a +1d4 bonus to attack and damage rolls. That's cool. It's a +2 crossbow anyway, which is nice. Cleric, Hunter, Thief, dual crossbows. We don't see the page, we see Doom Guy instead. What? Oh, what happened there? Oh, I'm in the wrong browser. Whoops. That explains a lot. My bad, guys. Apologies. I have 2 browser windows open, one for the stream stuff and one for the... My apologies. Long arm of the Gur. Gandrel... Yeah. Gandrel's Aspiration. This is what I was looking at, sorry. So the long arm of the Gur, which is obtained in Act 3, and Gandrel's Aspiration, which is obtained in Act 1. Dropped from Gandrel, and Gandrel... Okay, Gandrel's that guy. I don't really want to... It doesn't make sense for him to kill them, though. That's the problem. Level 2 spell slot for Branding Smite, not exactly spammable. Yes, but combined with Ranger, which would also give us spell slots. Because how high would we have to go to get Branding Smite? It's about 5th level, isn't it? I think. I could actually scroll up. Hold on. Yeah. So you'd have to go to level 5. So it would be a 5-7 split, most likely. Which would get us a lot of spell slots. Astarion stabs him if you don't know that he's a vampire. Okay. If you go strength, there's a bow sold by the Zentharim as well. If you're thinking about the Titan string bow, I know what you're talking about. It stacks with the arrow of many things and works with ton under damage. Okay. Well, with this build, we will kill Astarion. Interesting point, Isra, but if you don't know he's a vampire, maybe you wouldn't straight away, but that actually is a good point. You totally would. Zariel Tiefling gets Branding Smite as well. Yes, but only once per long rest. Could also probably RP the BG3 domains along those paths. Vengeance Paladin strictly for the morality? Yeah, probably. You'd kill him in the camp? Yeah. There's also an amulet that gives you an extra level 2 spell slot. That is true, boss. Yes. Kalenvor hates those who chose to be undead or raise other undead. Huh. I guess. He was about to make a deal with a hag. Oh, that is true as well, yeah. I wouldn't be able to kill Astarion, I like him too much. Yeah, I know what you mean. But I don't know, the idea of mixing, like, Ranger with Paladin, getting the Radiant Divine aspect, but at the same time also getting the hunting aspect, as well as the specific things, like you say, Hordebreaker, which is meant for dealing with undead, allows the Ranger to deal multiple damage to nearby targets with ranged weapons. Target 2 creatures standing close to each other deal weapon damage to the first creature, and open up the second for a follow-up attack. Yeah. The Ranger can use Hordebreaker follow-up to make an attack against this creature as a free action. With the correct enemy positioning, it is possible to inflict the Hordebreaker effect on more than one target. Yeah, so it's literally meant for dealing with necromancy. The theming is perfect. Oh, Astarion didn't choose to be a vampire. But you kill him in the camp during the biting scene, so you can still have him kill Gandriel. That's right. I see Boundless, yeah. I see what you mean there. Also, the one-level cleric for the dialogue could be Light Cleric for the reaction of Blinding Light. That's true. Right, that's true. We need a cleric level. Oh, that does... How on earth do you make that fit? The only thing is, I guess if you don't care about the defensive tactics... Escape the Horde means opportunity attacks against you have disadvantage. Steal will means you have advantage on saving throws being frightened. Multi-attack defense. When an enemy attacks you, they suffer a -4 penalty to additional attack rolls against you. That is nice, but... Currently, I'm playing a Kalenvorite in Curse of Strahd, and it's interesting to say the least, especially since one of our players is a Reborn, and we come across so many undead that can't hide from me. Damn. What is, Kalenvor's, yeah, because it's Grave and Death. So, the one-level Cleric dip, again, we want it. Yeah, leaving Astarion alive to get the bigger fish totally makes sense. So... Cleric 5, Paladin, or Ranger 2/5? Why Cleric 5, Jeremy? I'm not entirely sure why there. I don't like the idea of putting a lot of levels into Cleric when we straight up don't have Kalenvor's domain. I like it just being a one-level dip for the dialogue, and that's it. I'd say, yeah, I guess if... I know people are saying... 2 levels of Cleric, but I could see War Domain as well for the extra attacks. Yep. Cleric 2, Paladin 4, Ranger 6. Yes, but if we go Paladin 4, we lose Branding Smite, which is kind of a big thing for this build because we want those extra range attacks. And having like Holy Bolts to deal with Necromancy is just too good. Weirdly enough, you can make Life Domain work if you flavor it's preventing people from dying before their time. I guess so. Paladin 7, Ranger 4, Cleric 1. Ranger 4. Ranger 4. God, I wish we didn't have to take Cleric. I would have just thrown it out all completely. Genuinely. Because the thing is, what we're getting from the Ranger here is we're going to be getting Sanctified Stalker, which we want. Because it would give us things like Sacred Flame, Religion, Proficiency. That's all really nice. I would say from this, we could get maybe one of the Wasteland Wanderers. Probably Poison. Makes sense to me. We could get the Archery Fighting style as well, which we really would like. And then we go with Hunter, getting us Colossus, getting us Hordebreaker. And then level 4, we get a feat. Use the crossbow as an improvised weapon if you need to smite? Is that a thing? Can you smite with improvised weapons? How does that work, Faye? Can you explain that to me? Funnily enough, Vengeance Paladin will Oathbreak if you kill the imprisoned spawn in the Astarion quest. Really? Which might conflict with a Paladin of Kelemvor not wanting to release thousands of vampire spawn. Yeah, that makes sense. Ancients Paladin break an oath if they don't kill the imprisoned spawn. Really? Skipping Cleric on this one is rough. Kelemvor have a few really interesting dialogue choices, like you recognize Withers when you meet him since you follow the God of Death. What are we saying up here? Hold on. Hi CBD, good to see you. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how... Like, I didn't realize you could smite with improvised weapons. How does that work? Paladin 2, Ranger 5, more spell slots, more Spirit Guardians. I mean, yeah, but... Again, perhaps I'm focusing too much on wanting Branding Smite. Problem is, if you kill them, then you make an Ascendant, which makes even less sense in the sense of a Kelemvorite, yeah. Well, no, you don't have to make the Ascendant Astarion if you kill them all. You can have him reject the ritual, but also kill them all. I'm pretty sure those are separate. Zariel Tiefling for Branding Smite? Yeah, I could see that. Sorry for being late, work has worked. Never apologize for being late. This is a kind of drop in, drop out whenever you want type thing. The smite with improvised works because you can smite as a reaction. Right. I think Ancients would be better. Yeah, I can see why people are saying Ancients would be better. Yeah. You can refuse the ritual but still kill all of Astarion's siblings. Yeah. Again, if I didn't think we needed the cleric level, it would just be easy as 7 Hunter, 5 Paladin, off to the races. I know Ancients Paladin 7 is really strong, but... And then again, when you think about it, we just did an Ancients Paladin as well, so... it all seems too samey. I really am starting to get to that point with making build videos where just everything is starting to blend together and feel really similar. That's why I want to start working on modded builds, for sure. I mean, you don't need the cleric level, your Tiamat build doesn't. No, that's true. Mainly because I forgot, but... Ancients is about preserving light and nature and beauty, definitely not Kelemvor's vibe. Yeah, I can see that. I'm gonna look at something off stream for spoiler reasons real quick. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Is there nothing about... Because I wanted to see what the actual Kelemvor dialogue is, and if it's only like a few instances throughout the game, I'm not too worried about it. In all honesty. Knowledge is versatile AF if you're not a GIF. Yeah. Over devotion then? Maybe. I really do like knowledge. Devotion is very fitting for Kalemverites. Vengeance is for active undead hunters. Yes, and I think this is a guy who is actively... did you stream the wrong browser again? No. I was deliberately looking at another window off stream because I didn't want to potentially show spoilers. That time it was intentional. If I'm being honest, I'd really like to drop the cleric level. The only thing we're using it for is dialogue options. And we don't use devotion often enough. I get what you mean. I like the 7-5 split between Hunter Ranger and Paladin. Cleric 1, Ranger 3, Paladin 8. You get a bunch of Radiant spells and the turn Undead Channel Divinity. I know what you mean. I'm just trying to look at it more from like the active hunter aspect. I think the cleric spell slots will be more helpful than you think. Yeah, I know what you mean. But then, here's what I'm saying, right? I don't want this build to just be smite, because that's every paladin. What I'm trying to make here is... I'm trying to take the idea of, like, the undead hunter aspect, mixing it with the hunter ranger aspect, to try and make it interesting kind of ranged paladin, which gets, like, the ranged attacks from... you know, like Hunter with Hordebreaker and, you know, Hail of Thorns and Ensnaring Strike. Mixing that with getting, like, Branding Smite for ranged Radiant attacks with Paladin, using the spell slots for that. I don't know. And I've already done a Hunter Ranger Cleric. I'm still on team no Paladin. Cleric Hunter rather than Paladin Hunter? I've already done a Cleric Hunter recently. That was the Dawnbringer, which was Lathandar. How about 8 Cleric for the ranged Radiant damage? I could see that. Just Hunter Ranger Knowledge Cleric? Maybe no Paladin and only a little bit Cleric? Why Paladin 5? Just take Paladin 4? Paladin 5 is where we get Branding Smite, which would be the ranged Radiant damage. Gloomstalker? I can see why you would say that. Maybe a Gloomstalker Paladin, Gloomstalker Cleric mix could be interesting. What if we use dual crossbows with Crusader's Mantle? Maybe. But then we already have really good two-handed crossbow options here, specifically meant for hunting undead. Like we have Kandrel's Aspiration, which actually has Turn Undead on it, and the Long Arm of the Gur, which does bonus damage to undead. Wait, hold on. Hold on! I have an idea that kind of fixes some of this. I need to look at something really quickly. It's level 6, but... Is it... Crusader's Mantle's on here, but not Brand... I thought Branding Smite may have been on the Lawbard spell list. Damn it, it's not. Because my thought process there was... Nah. Darn it. Because the idea of, like, a traveling hunter bard could have been really fun. I don't think it's there. Right. Okay. I think the two most popular builds here... I think the two popular options here... Like, okay. Let me have a look here, hold on. Because if we go the Ranger Cleric route, I've technically done that before, haven't I? 1 second. Yeah, I thought so. Nature Cleric 8, Hunter Ranger 4. With the Titan String Bow. But that was less, that was more archery than crossbow. Duo build maybe? No, I don't want another duo build. That's a lot of work for me. Is there any other way to get the ranger stuff like fighter maneuvers? I guess so. You could do the Battlemaster fighter thing and get... because a lot of these work with ranged attacks. Banishing Smite is, but that's level 10, yeah, and that's not radiant damage, which is what I'm after. I think Gloomstalker Paladin is distinct enough. Maybe Fighter instead of Ranger. I can see why people are saying Fighter. Let me have a look at Gloomstalker, because that is kind of a Hunter type. Disguise Self, Umbral Shroud, Superior Dark Vision, Dread Ambusher, and I guess that kind of links into, like, the Death or Grave Domain aspects. And we could just slap level 3 of that on. We don't need to go any higher. Level 3 or 4. Maybe go with Cleric. Up to... Hold on. Destroy Undead is level 5. We go to level 6. So 3, 6, 2? Hunting in the Dark for the Undead. 5 to 3, War Cleric 9. Maybe. Interesting. Well, this is what I'm thinking now, right? My only issue with going really high in, like, Cleric or something is the fact that we just... My only issue with going higher in Cleric is that we don't have the appropriate domain, so it seems a bit weird. Hi, JP. Good to have you here. Bard Dirge build? I've made one of those before. Definitely one of my more interesting builds I've made. War Cleric 1, bonus action shots, Ranger 3, Hunter Archer, Vengeance Pally 8, Relentless Avenger, plus second feet. I kind of like that, Jason. Hold on. Hunter Ranger 3, which would get us Horde Breaker. War Cleric 1 for the extra bonus attack. I see that. And then... Vengeance... Brain is getting tired now, so I'm going to dip out. Yep, thanks for coming, Boundless. Oath of Vengeance. My edit was saved. I didn't make an edit. Relentless Avenger, then go for level 8. Which would get us the ranged attacks as well. Okay, what you guys are saying... Dirge? What do you mean? Dirge? What does that mean? Can you guys explain that one to me? I'm not a Pathfinder aficionado. I'm getting your head off too. It's pretty late here. Yeah, see you later, boss. One Cleric, 11 Fighter just to be a kick-ass crossbow user. I guess that would be like 3 shots. Let's see. You can use a shield and still get the Monk's Unarmed Strike. Well, the thing is we can use a shield on this build, but again, the whole point is the ranged focus. Bard who sings about the dead, more or less simplified. So when you guys are saying dirge is in D-I-R-G-E, like, so they sing at funerals? Oh. Okay. I guess that kind of mourning song. Oh, hang on. Okay, let's have a look at Bard then. Have I ever done a Bard Cleric? College of Spirits is a mod you can get? Yes, but I'm keeping these builds vanilla. Although that would absolutely work. Eilistraee, but barely. That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Maybe something different there. Maybe a... What if we do then... I'm liking... Hold on, let me just organize my document here. Dancer of Eilistraee with Swords 11 Life 1. I guess... Lawbard getting cleric spells. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Level 6 magical secrets. You can get, we could get things like Crusader's Mantle, like someone else suggested, which would add radiant damage to all of our weapon attacks, which would include that. We could get Spirit Guardians as well if we wanted. We could get things like Guiding Bolt, I guess. But we could also get that from Cleric. Has to be Lore, Swords and Valor don't fit. I can see Valor maybe if we're talking about revering dead heroes. A Lorebard Blaster Caster could be fun. College of Lore to get the Necromancy spells not focused on Undeath. Lorebard getting Cleric spells? Yeah. I could see going a completely different direction than what we were going in. Worried about no extra attack. Light Cleric for warding flare with the high dex from Bard. Well, the thing is I'm not necessarily seeing this as maybe like a full martial now. The only thing I'm kind of missing with this build is what do you call it? Like the kind of like specialized ranged attacks, but I know we aren't doing the Doom guy anymore, but now I want a Doom themed build. I'm gonna come back to that concept, I think. Extra attack is easily remedied by dual wielding finesse or not. Yes, exactly. I could say that we have like dual wield melee weapons while wielding one of these like specific crossbows here. Go for a high level Lorebard with a couple of levels of Cleric maybe, because if we go high with the magical secrets, right, we can get at level 6 of Lorebard, we can get Crusader's Mantle, Spirit Guardians, whatever we want there. But then also, if we go to level 10, we could get things like Banishing Smite, which would be really fun. And then maybe like Guardian of Faith or Death Ward or something along those lines. Doomguy build, Artemer Artificer mod, and Vengeance Paladin, yeah. A Doomguy build would be 1 Cleric, 11 Paladin, yeah, exactly. If it's going to be mostly spellcasting, there's no need for extra attack anyways. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think this is going to be mostly spellcasting now. If we go back to the actual like Bard spell list, I mean, but then again, there's not much there for this build. I apologize. This stream has been so all over the place. I really do apologize. There's just been a whole lot of nothing going on. This isn't the kind of thing I like to do. I like things to be a bit more snappy. But I feel like this has definitely been the most complicated stream as of yet, for sure. And I do apologize for that. I don't think it's any... Well, it is my fault. But... because I'm trying to take everyone's ideas on board, and it's really, really tricky. I like the idea of throwing in Bard levels now. Dude, this game is amazing. Just think about all the fun we're going to have be having back and forth, though. Also ADD, a little bit. Yeah, we struggled a lot today. Yeah, I agree. This is a bit of a weird stream. We've got 2 builds down, which is enough for 2 weeks of content. What I'm happy to do, maybe... Honestly, it's fun to see people brainstorm over how Deity builds differently. Yeah, I agree. But... Tell you what. Just for the sake of... Starting to lean towards Devotion Paladin. Charm, Warding Aura would be nice for Vampire Hunter's allies. I see what you mean. Yeah. Tell you what, guys. I've got an idea. Just for this stream, right? Just something a bit different. I'm gonna basically kind of leave this build. I've got some ideas, but hang on a second. I'm just kind of putting down some notes from this stream. Hold on. I'll figure this out later, because I've got some interesting ideas. How about, right, okay. I think, obviously, I've got enough kind of deity build ideas now, and I've got, for 3 weeks worth of content. I don't see a reason of going in on doing any more of this stream. Be right back, just leaving to walk my dog. I'll see you in a bit, Sim. How would you guys, instead of continuing with some more deity builds and just kind of being sitting around umming and ahhing about this sort of thing, why don't we hop into Baldur's Gate 3 with my current setup with all my mods? We could discuss potential modded builds for the future. And kind of actually go in-game and have a look at some of them. Because I think it'd be interesting to kind of do some showcases and, look at things. Might be a fun way to kind of spend the next couple of hours. I don't know. Or an hour and a bit. I don't know. Just something different to shake things up. That's what I'm thinking. I'll have a look more into this stuff later. And I think the further we get with the deity build streams... Sorry about that, Sin. As we kind of get further in with this sort of thing... Yeah, hold on, guys. You might see a black screen for a little bit. Just as we kind of get further into this sort of thing, I think it'd be nice to kind of just change things up. Because this stream has been long. Let me just make... Because I had to mess around with my mods a little bit. Let me just get my full modded profile back. 1 second. I just have to mess around with BG3 mod manager for a sec. Save order. Export order to game. There we go. Okay, should be good to go. Let me boot up the game real quick. And I have to mess with OBSs now as well. Hang on. Let me boot this up. Sorry, Sin. I had a theme for the next stream after Deity Hobo, Descendant or Children of certain characters in BG3 or D&D lore in general. Yeah, I'd like to explore the wider lore, I guess I should say. Because I think there's a lot of interesting concepts there. I think I am, although I must say, and I'll be perfectly honest here, I am starting to run out of steam a little bit on just pure vanilla builds. I'm testing the waters with modded content for the next little while as I kind of slowly edge it in. And if I find that that does well enough, it might have to be what my focus shifts to from here on out. Because I've just done so much now that I think I'm starting to lose interest a little bit. And I think other people are as well. So I got to try and experiment a bit more. I might shift more into modded content with the future. So I kind of want to get y'all's opinion on this sort of thing. I would love to see your take on the deity build for Shah. For some reason, she shows up in my game as a selectable deity now. She wasn't there before. Yeah, I've had that too. Have you got mods installed? Because I didn't notice it until after I started installing mods. I think one of the mods, perhaps improved UI, which I just always have, I think just allows for Shah now. I'd love to see your take on a Drizzt build. People keep mentioning that character to me, and I don't know who it is. Like, not really. I understand he's a drow? A drow ranger? Yeah, I have improved UI. I think that's it. Well, that's interesting. Let's leave that for now. Yeah, I don't know much about Drizzt, let's just say. R.A. Salvatore book series, bro? Ah. Yeah, I don't know who he is. Like 40,000 books on Drizzt? Yeah. He has a whole book series about him? Why would I be expected to know any of that? Yes, I was into D&D before Baldur's Gate 3, but I've never really gone that in-depth in it. Drizzt is like the Captain America of the Forgotten Realms? Yeah. This is my first experience with the Forgotten Realms. When I play tabletop games, it's usually homebrew. Legendary Dark Elf appears in a stupid amount of books and games. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Not a clue. His lore is all over BG3, but he's an American author. It's okay. Yeah, sorry. I just don't know. Right, so anyways, this is my kind of Act 3 save file, which I've been making my most recent builds from. Originally, I was able to use this thing, which would allow me to create completely new characters as basically, like, better hirelings, but it doesn't work anymore. Some mod or something I have installed is conflicting with it. So what I do now is I respec characters. This is obviously the old, this is my newer dancer build that I used, and this is kind of the one I played through to get to Act 3. But if we want to have a look at some of the subclasses and such, we can come over here perhaps and quickly just respec. Here's to rangers what Elminster is to wizards. Interesting. I like all your builds, and once mods come to PS5, I'll be joining the mods crew. Yeah. But as you can see here, I've got... Ignore this one. This is like a placeholder thing for a different mod. But obviously I have Artificer and Bloodhunter. Artificer obviously has a lot going for it in terms of what we could do. Like if I was to do the dedicated Doomguy build, this is what I would use. Bloodhunter exists. I'm not too familiar with it yet. There's a lot of things here that I want to explore, but I have to look into it a bit further. Drizzt is also in the older Baldur's Gate games. I've not played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Sorry. He has a Panther companion. He was the guy who broke the stereotypes of all drow were always evil, and that's why wizards went back and made their culture more complex. Right, I see. I did a House Derden Avenger Knowledge Cleric as Maya Derden and had so much fun with my LOL Swarm RP run with her. Interesting, Meowmix. My companion creator is working. Yeah, I don't know what mod I have installed that's causing it not to work. I have to look into it. Drizzt is also in the... Yeah, no, I haven't seen that Isra, unfortunately. Yeah, so I've got Bloodhunter here, which I understand is kind of a iffy choice, because I know it's a Matt Mercer thing. It's not technically official, but it's so popular that it might as well be. So I figured I might as well experiment with it. Figured maybe like a Dampier build could be really fun, or something like that. Dampier, I'm saying that right, aren't I? But there's this. And he's about 5'5". Okay. Trying to remember what other class mods I have installed. Give me 1 second to pull up the mod manager so I can look at the exact list, if you'll give me a second. Fun fact, Bloodhunter was a homebrew class made for Vin Diesel? Are you serious, Duncan? Oh my god. Karlach is canonically a huge fan of Drizzt? Really? Right, so let me just have a look here. I've got Artificer, Arcane Archer, I think Beast Barbarian, I think? What is this? Beast? Yeah. Bloodhunter, Chronergy, Circle of Stars, Circle of the Storm Chasers, Circle of Wildfire, all the Cleric subclasses, all the Rogue subclasses, College of Spirits, Drake Warden, Echo Knight Graviturgy, Hexblade, Horizon Walker, Monster Slayer, Oath of Conquest, Rune Knight, Samurai, Shadow Sorcerer, Swarmkeeper, Undead Warlock, Zealot Barbarian, Blade Singer, and 5e spells. There's a lot of stuff here. The class is based on Vin Diesel's character from the last Witch Hunter movie in the and the character Vin Diesel played in D and Diesel. I've not seen that. What? I've got a... Okay, so one of my buddies, Dawson, who's been on the channel before, he basically forced me to sit and watch all of the Fast and Furious movies with him. I need to let him know that that exists. It was in the actual play session that the cast did. Sambert said Karlach was just fangirling all over Dritz. Oh, okay. Blade Singer? Yeah, I've got Blade Singer in here. And tomorrow's build is a Blade Singer, so I've already got that covered for now. Let me have a look. Let me see. Because there's... Which ones get there? Yeah, because obviously we have all of the subclasses here for Cleric. Arcana, Blood, Death, Forge, Light. Well, that's not a... Grave we've got here. Moon, Order, Peace... Twilight, and yeah, we have all the good ones here. Neil Newborn is a huge Dritz nerd, though. Okay, perhaps I have some required reading to do. Okay? I've kept current with the Dritz books, and the lack of monk levels on anyone's Dritz build bothers me. If I was to do a proper Dritz... Maybe that should be... What happened to the Jack Sparrow build? Well, it's not Jack Sparrow, it's a pirate inspired by Pirates of the Caribbean, and yes, that is the Blade Singer build, and you'll see the justification for it in the video. Trust me, it makes sense. A Forge Cleric Dwarf would be fun. We don't have Peace yet? No, that's the only one that... Oh no, Peace is here. Peace is here in the mod. Heroism, Sanctuary, Implement of Peace... Oh, what? That's so cool. Yeah. Okay. All of you guys are... Okay, I know this stream is switching gears all the time. However, a lot of you seem to know a lot about this Dritz guy. And he's... And I've not said this before. He is by far the most requested build ever. Do I take a look at it? Do some reading. Get some ideas, because all of you seem to know about it. Well, most of you. I don't know. We could do that. I'm just kind of having a look at what I've got here. What is Blood Domain? Never heard of this one. Pulse Life, Sleep. Spells from your domain. Bloodletting Focus. When you cast a damage-dealing spell first level or higher, any creature with blood. Any creature with blood. It's a great series to read. I am new to D&D, so I have no idea who he is. Yeah. Sure, I would love to see your take on him. I'd pretty much never heard of him before this stream as well, so don't feel bad about it. Dritz is the most popular guy in the Forgotten Realms for a reason. He is the most iconic character in the series. I don't know Dritz, but I'm willing to learn. Exactly, Riley. I'm the same. I don't know nothing. Get a level 20 mod and make Elminster. What with his big naturals? Why does that mod exist? First level, any creature with blood that takes damage from the spell takes extra necrotic damage equal to 2 plus the spell's level. Interesting. Okay. What else do we have? Sorcerer. Do I have... Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've got Aberrant Mind in here as well. Aberrant Mind and Shadow Sorcery. The Sorcerer. This is just so you guys get an idea of what I've managed to pick up. I have Undead and Hexblade Warlocks, which has a lot of cool stuff about it. Vampire Lord, I just saw. I know I have Drake Warden and Monster Slayer and Horizon Walker for Ranger. Paladin, I have the Oath of Conquest. There's a lot of stuff. If you do Dritz, it would need to be done with at least a little bit of research. Well, of course I do the research. I want to make a Clockwork Soul Sorcerer so bad. Yes! I looked... There is a Clockwork Soul Sorcerer mod. But it was from, like, early access, and it's been broken, and the guys just never fixed it. In fact, it's delisted from Nexus now because it just did not work. I really want to see it done. Tell you what. I'm curious about this Dritz guy now. Give me 1 second. To pull the stream back up. 1 second. 1 second, everybody. I'm sorry this stream is all over the place today, but I'm just kind of playing it by ear at the moment. Alright, you should see something now. There we go. Window, please? There you go. So. Let's leave that. Right, I have 3 windows open now. Dritster Odin from the Forgotten Realms Wiki. I'm assuming that the Forgotten Realms Wiki here is going to be the best kind of place to do it, obviously aside from just straight up reading the books, which I obviously don't have time for. My Dritster build would be something like 5 Open Hand Monk, 4 Fighter, 3 Thief. Interesting. So, various depictions of the legendary ranger Dritster Odin. Let's have a look at the gallery. I'm actually curious here. Or not. Oh, okay, there. I thought they'd be presented differently. This wiki is great, yes. Okay, I'm just gonna read this. Enjoy, I guess, hobo reading stream, I guess. Let's have a look. Dritster Odin. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Also called Dritst Daemon... Fuck that. Was a male drow ranger. He was an atypical drow who had forsaken both the evil ways of his people and their home in the Underdark to become a legendary hero of the North. Okay, so he's all the way back from 1st edition. This guy's old. Dritster Odin was a drow. He stood at about 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighed about 130 pounds. So, elves... I guess, and by extension, drow, are typically tall, right? So he's quite atypical in that regard. How does the oath of trickery even work? Like, what do you swear an oath to? Chaos. Loki. 8 ranger, 3 fighter, 1 monk is how I've built Drits. The wiki is great, yes. As of now, there are 39 Drits novels. Jesus. Guinevere is important, but we can't have Panther companions. You could have a moon druid hireling. To be honest, this guy seems like he's so in-depth, I'd probably have to make this a modded build. Just to get kind of everything as accurate as I possibly can. I think he's often represented as a level 15 ranger. It was certainly true in the Menzo Berenzin game. What's that game called? I'm curious. So Jaheira isn't Gwen? Not as much as halflings, but shorter than most humans. Well, yeah, I know how short 5 feet 4 inches is, but I just thought that was pretty atypical for elves. He's technically not a Selûne, but I'd go that route for the dialogue options. So I tested the current companion mod from your mod list in my game, and it works properly. Yeah, I know, there's a different mod that's messing it up, and I just don't know what it is yet. I'll have to change it around. Maybe change where it is in the load order. Let's have a look. Handsome features were sharp and well proportioned, and like other drow, his skin was black, and his stark white hair was long, thick, and flowing. Well, yeah, we can tell that. His eyes were a lavender hue. His vision was once accustomed to the pitch blackness of the Underdark. However, many years after Dritz first ventured into the surface, his eyes adapted to the bright light of the world above. When using his infravision, the images, if held prolonged for a long period of time, cause headaches and other symptoms of strain. He normally wore a frost green cloak that was given to him by the Weeping Friars upon his departure to Icewind Dale. I've heard of that before. High black boots and a necklace attached with a white unicorn head, the symbol of his goddess Mielikki. Oh, so he follows Mielikki, so that's a deity that's in-game, so that's pretty good. He is called a ranger, but I don't think it's actually in the D&D sense. He's a ranger in the Aragorn sense. He has no druidic spell casting, for example. Okay. It's called Menzo Berenzin. It's essentially Dritz, the video game. I'm going to search that up real quick. Except, why does it keep pulling it into the wrong tab? That's so annoying. 1 second all. I've got so many different windows open, this is annoying. Right, okay. There we go. Menzo Berenzin. Menzo Berenzin video game is from 1994. Probably why I haven't heard of it. The underground city populated by drow has been introduced to the tabletop materials 2 years earlier. Right, okay, so that's just a different thing entirely. I'll look at that later. Sorry, order correct, not Gwen, Gwyn. Ah, okay. Elves are shorter than humans on average, so that's why Halsin's size is so unusual. Really? Perhaps I'm just thinking of more typical fantasy elves then. I tried looking at the mod page. I didn't notice any incompatible mod names there. I was hoping my heavily modded game would suffice for a test. I'll have to check it out. He's a ranger like how Volo is a bard. I see. So not really so much on the magical side of things, more on the martial combat side of things. Whereas Volo is more of just a singing guy who doesn't actually have spells. That makes sense. Yeah. I refuse to consider Volo a wizard. He's a bard in my book. Right. Okay. The game is also named after the Drow city. Right. I remembered that much, at least. He was once... Yeah, we read that already. A perfectionist by nature, Drizzt had high ideals and standards to which he strove to conform, although he didn't hold others to the same. He was sensitive and thoughtful and longed to be accepted amongst others and make friends everywhere. However, he was always troubled by the threat his enemies would pose to such newfound friends, and he was always wary of betrayal and dangers. He was taciturn and terse of speech, but still polite to others. He credited that person for imparting cultural awareness and tolerance upon him. In his later years, Drizzt's goal was perfection of the body... a perfection of the body with his blades in battle. Drizzt did not want his god to dictate his actions. He had to agree with those actions himself. On relatively rare occasions, Drizzt regressed into a bestial and instinctive state of mind that he identified as the Hunter. First time this happened was after Drizzt had fled from Menzo Brens and was living in the wilds of the Underdark. For those 10 years, he came close to being completely overwhelmed by this animalistic personality, but began to master it when he came close to harming the Thing children. In the heat of battle, when his friends seemed to be in great danger, when he was alone in the wilderness, Drizzt would occasionally lose control over himself and give in to the urges of the Hunter, such as when he went back to his homeland to prevent the harm from coming to his friends. Another example was when, during the war with King Olbload Many Arrows and his horde of orcs, Drizzt had thought Bren or dead, and wasn't certain that his friends were alive. Hi, Red. Good to see you here. Sorry, I didn't notice. I was too busy reading. Jaheira's a cougar, not a panther. Hey, Red. I love that Meowmix. In the beta of D&D, Bard was a combo class. You had to have a few levels in Mage and Fighter to even start taking Bard levels. Interesting. I don't think you need mods for Drizzt, except maybe for his more famous pieces of gear. Not sure. I think okay. You guys are having a completely different discussion. So, my understanding is... As a drow, Enix was able to summon glows of impenetrable magical darkness at will or in an area attached to target. He could also summon harmless fairy fire. So that's just typical drow stuff. After Drizzt studied under this guy for 6 months, must acknowledge that Drizzt had chosen to become a wizard, he would have become quite a powerful one indeed. Drizzt fought with the two long weapon style common among drow warriors. When the tides turned bad, or when facing opponents such as dragons or frost giants, he conjured a globe of darkness that neither he nor his opponent could see through. Depending on the situation, Drizzt continued to fight from in there. In rare cases, Drizzt would go into a self-imposed trance. Okay, so if I was to build this, definitely grabbing the Eversight ring. For sure. Sadly, only going to be able to lurk, but have a great stream, Ho. But yeah, it's lovely to have you here, Red, for sure. Again, I always welcome lurkers, no problem there. So Bard was similar to Paladin, where he had to take... Yeah. Drizzt's favourite weapon was the scimitar, so he would dual-wield scimitars. Okay, I'm gonna put this somewhere. I'm gonna put this in the Deity Build file, even though obviously he's not. So dual scimitars for sure. Eversight ring for the darkness strategy. Okay. Nicknamed Twinkle and Icing Death. He also carried a unique figurine of wondrous power that summoned his Black Panther companion. The Drow wore a pair of braces of the blinding strike. Okay, what's that? In addition to serving of braces of armor plus 6, Jesus, the braces gave the wearer excellent reaction time in battle, allowing them to attack swiftly and more often. Originally, the latter two abilities were only usable by people with warrior training, with acceleration power only being usable 3 times per day. The braces were improved to confer the abilities to anyone. Okay, so haste, I guess. That's how we'd get that. After 40 books, the lore on Drizzt has deviated a lot. There are many preceptors on him. I only picked up the books after playing BG3, and I'm addicted. The Victual Dictionary Guide is dope too. Okay. Drizzt is incredibly multifaceted. Right. So he's going to be definitely using haste in some shape or form. Okay. Somehow we'd have to get a Panther companion. Which I guess I could... I would be interested in making it like maybe like a solo or like duo build run where you just have a wild-shaped druid just be the panther at all times. Hey guys, what's up and what's happened? Hi, Horrific Necktie. We spent a long time trying to make deity builds, and we got 2 kind of done, and then 1 kind of not done because it was just a bit too tricky. And now I'm looking into what is probably the most popular D&D, or I guess wider Forgotten Realms lore character of all time. Bring Jaheira, panther her up. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be Jaheira, because I feel like she's her own character. I don't want to regulate her just to that role. But I could absolutely see this being like a wild-shaped panther duo build for sure. Maybe we could make it kind of go like the other way. Like this character isn't like a moon druid being a panther. It is a panther that maybe like from some magic thing can transform into a human. That could be funny. Panthers can work as an animal companion with mods, plus you could get him up to level 15, which is what he's often seen as. Maybe. And what does that come from? Beastmaster Ranger? If you mod it, there's a mod for a Gwyn statue / companion. Which deity build's got some love? We have Selûne, Vlaakith, and Kalemvor. Gonna keep reading. The Drow War, yeah, we did that. Around his ankles, which made him incredibly quick on his feet. He chose to wear them on his legs instead of his arms, because when the enchantment combined with his natural speed, his sword swings became too fast for him to control, making it hard to change directions, and his feet could not keep up, resulting in extremely predictable attacks. Okay. Dritz's attire generally took the form of a cloth tunic, tough pants, soft boots, and leather gloves. Okay. Dritz's armor was an enchanted suit of mithril chainmail. Okay. So maybe the adamantine armor, but maybe use camp clothing? Maybe. Oh, custom companions got updated today, and I got an updated version. Ah, that might be why then. Okay, I'll reinstall it. Thanks for that, Matria. Mad happy I didn't miss Mogma. Miss Ogma, to be honest. Yeah, we haven't done Ogma yet. There are certain fics where Gwyn turns into a person for Drizzt. Like dragons can transform into Dragonborn. Yeah, something along those lines. We'll see. You can get an animal companion as a familiar with non-Beastmaster Rangers. Yeah, I know. But this is actually outdated. What, the wiki is? It has no mentions of his monastic training. He actually moved the braces back to his arms now that his monk training has allowed his feet to keep up on their own. Okay, so there's monk levels in there then. Alright, let me pop that into the document. Because I just want to do... I'm not saying this is going to be a build that is going to happen soon. I just wanted to kind of have it here. Let's see what else we have here. He carried Agatha's mask during his journeys in... Okay, so that was pretty... Mushi's longbow, what's that? Okay, so he has a longbow as well. Throw that on the build somehow. Okay. Lemon? Oh no, I don't want to talk about lemons. I know what you're talking about though. Unlike how Bahamut ran around as a human wizard, yeah. History, the surface. Yeah, okay. Post-spell plague. How long has this dude been alive? Hold on. BG3 takes place in... Yeah, when does BG3 take place? In the year 1492. And this guy... That's 1484. When is the most recent account of this guy being alive? Who are we doing at the moment? I'm just reading up on this character here. Drizzt. Because a lot of people seem to want me, like both in the YouTube comments and people kind of chatting about it in the stream, they want me to kind of like build this character. So I'm just kind of taking a look at it. Just a brief kind of thing. There's so much information, even just for me. Later acquisitions included a whistle that summoned a magical unicorn that Drift's named in Henna, and a ring of elemental command attuned to fire elementals. So what, could he summon one, or is he just allowed to control them? Yeah, no. Drizzt is fun. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it requires a lot more required reading than perhaps I am willing to do just for a video. And I think this is going to be probably modded in some shape or form. You could give him Gone to Mail. That's a good idea. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, got that. Thank you. What was the Kalemvor build? We were kind of undecided, unfortunately. And it got to the point where it was just becoming boring as we just kind of sat here going back and forth and accomplishing nothing. So I've got some general ideas from the chat. We looked at Ranger, we looked at Bard, Paladin, and Cleric for all various different reasons. And I think I'm just going to come up with something from those general concepts for the video. Everyone and their mother has made a Drizzt build, to be frank, and it's getting kind of boring. People will just whine about it one way or another. Like your own spin on Drizzt, or trying to match his actual stat block in D&D? I don't know yet. To be honest, I don't think I'd actually make Drizzt himself. I would probably make someone who takes inspiration from his exploits. Because I don't know, I think just straight up making Drizzt in this game, there's going to be problems. I would quite like to be able to put my own spin on it, on the concept. So rather than just recreate the actual character himself, I would make someone who kind of maybe follows in his footsteps. Drizzt has a daughter. Ah. Maybe. Something along those lines. What's the daughter's name? You won't be able to capture his whole story in 12 levels, so don't spray your aim too wide for Drizzt. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking just maybe... I'm maybe doing something inspired by him, but not actually being him, which would give me a lot more room to experiment. And not be deliberately linked to his whole history. She's still a kid, so she has no canonical fighting style. Not too sure I want to build a child. Her name is Cat. No! No, Rob! No, I know what you're about to do. I didn't finish saying it. Don't you do it. Back, why are we talking about Drizzt? Because we kind of fell off on doing the deity builds. It got a bit boring, so... we kind of switched gears. Oh, my dog's barking again. Probably because he's about to go out. I like the idea of a young drow who idolizes Drizzt. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Someone who's heard of his tales from far away. And maybe somewhere along their journey meets a druid who kind of takes the form of a panther. Maybe two young kindred spirits who kind of follow in their footsteps and kind of go back and forth. I could see that being amazingly fun. Yeah. Somebody mentioned that earlier, Mine. That the voice actor is a huge fan of him. And that kind of carried over into the character in the actual play game. Yeah, I could see me just giving this a light read and doing a character that is inspired by him, but not necessarily exactly him. Like a fanboy. Not even like a fanboy, just someone who kind of like... It's almost like you could say that with his exploits reaching as far as they have, maybe other drow are willing to kind of rise. Almost a bit like the Dancer of Eilistraee in a way. Like, are kind of willing to like kind of take on his... you know, ideals and, you know, kind of take on his image in order to, like, kind of show, hey, we're not so bad. That's what I'm thinking, yeah. So not necessarily Drits themselves, but maybe like a couple of people who were inspired by his tale and go on their own adventure, and there's parts of it that mirror what happens with Drits, like having the Panther companion, but instead of it being a companion summoned from a statue, it's someone who is actually a druid who prefers to live as a panther, similar as Halsin prefers to be a cave bear sometimes. Something along those lines. And then we make it like a dual scimitar build, use the power of the drow, so we get like the Eversight ring to do darkness shenanigans. We grab haste from some form to kind of replicate those braces, maybe from the longbow gone to mail, like we said. Maybe throw some monk levels in there as well. Something like that. Brits to a Lothsworn evil version of Drits. No. No. But funny though. Yeah, I might explore that idea a bit further down the line. Yeah, okay. So that's another build that's going to happen. Not quite a deity build, but something... I like that. While my advert curse is returned, well, at least I'm getting something out of that. In Elder Scrolls, there's a thing called mantling, where a mortal walks in the path of another being, and in some way becomes an avatar of that being. I know Drits isn't a god, but still. I think it's more like... Maybe I could come up with something that's less of like... Maybe there's like kind of like not like an order of drow, but like a kind of group of drow who kind of take after Drits because he is so legendary, and they work to do good and like, you know, kind of spread the idea that, you know, the drow aren't all evil. Something along those lines. Yeah, I could certainly see that. Well, I guess a fan club, yeah, basically. No, Zerd is the evil one. Yeah, so I can see that being something interesting. I think that's as interesting as a deity build, if not more so. I'm definitely going to look into doing that, because I think that would be really fun. Right. I can definitely... How are we doing so far? Everything's good, yeah. I think now... Now I have to make a Brits BG3 playthrough? Yeah. I mean, I feel like it can be a fun style. Dual scimitars are always quite interesting. Tell you what, there's one more thing you guys could potentially help me with, actually. Before I kind of sign off on this stream. Because I feel like this stream has definitely slowed down a bit now. I don't know, I don't know if I'm going to be busy tomorrow. If I'm not, I might do like an impromptu stream. Not like a deity build or anything, but I might just like play some games and like hang out or something. But there is one more thing you could potentially help me out with. Just because I need like opinions on stuff. Hold on. I'm not sure if this will even let me do it. What browser window am I in? Am I in the right one? I don't know. What can you guys see on the stream right now? Yeah, you guys can see what I see. Perfect. Because there was a couple of things. Hold on. Where's BG3? Yeah, sure. Whatever. I do not know how to navigate this site very well. There it is. Hey, first time catching you live. Quick question. Which of your builds would you recommend most for a Dark Knight or a Death Knight kind of roleplay gameplay? Probably the Dark Ronin. Just change the flavoring around. Warlock Paladin is very good for that sort of thing. Easily. Earthbreaker Paladin 7, Blade Warlock 5, Fiend or Goo would be perfect. Yeah, I'm on the Nexus because I want to see about... Because the only thing I'm having issue with at the moment is class mods for Monk. Because I just don't have them. If I do this... Oh, or maybe if I do way up... There you go. That probably works. Because half of these haven't been updated in a while. Sea of Thieves when? I don't know. I don't know about playing Sea of Thieves. I disagree. Moon Druid stays good with just a tiny bit of multiclassing. Yeah, you can do a little bit. Okay, Way of Mercy's been updated. I might try this one. But I was kind of thinking, what are your guys' opinions on some of these? Because I want to pick up some of these, but I don't know if they work. Way of the Ascended Dragon, Kensei, Astral Self. I think these are all the canon ones, and then the rest are kind of Way of Long Death. Is that an official one? I can't remember. I have no idea on mods. Yeah, this is where I'm kind of curious. I've got Mercy, Long Death, Ascended Dragon, Astral Self, and others. Do they work on the most recent patch? Long Death is official? Yeah, cool. Long Death is canon, and Sun Soul's pretty fun. Okay. Long Death is from the Sword Coast Guide. Ah, okay. Yeah, I want to do something with more mods. Way of the Long Death, Way of the Sun Soul. So there's 2 Way of the Sun Soul mods. I don't know which one's best. Sun Soul lets you replace unarmed strikes with 30-foot Radiant Blasts. Ooh. Sun Soul's literally the Goku class? Okay, which of these... Because there's 2. I've got 2 here. I don't know which one's best. This one seems like it has less detail. Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, Hammock, that's a good point. Have you considered the Aasimar mod? Yeah. That's because there's 2. I think this one's the one that everyone uses. I've considered it, but I found... I don't know if this is just me. I found race mods to be extremely buggy and hard to work with. So I've not really considered them yet, but I feel like I should. I have the one by Oh Lols. Which one's that one? This one? I love the Whispers of the Divine. Okay. Could still try. Yeah. I'm just trying to get like a general consensus on like what mods are good to use for future videos. And this one looks like it could be alright. But I find that with my specific setup, when you try and respec, like make an already existing character into a modded race, that's when shit goes bad, really. Alright. I just kind of wanted your guys' opinion on that really quickly. I want to look into more stuff as far as this is concerned. I'll download these things and go from there. Right, if I'm being honest, this stream has kind of slowed down a bit. I have to apologize for this stream because this was really awkward. Like, the amount of time that was just kind of sat around not doing much... It wasn't great, and I apologize for that. This isn't the kind of stream that I like to run. I'll second Whispers, it's really damn good. Yeah, I'm gonna probably pick up that as well. Could always go back to the basic and make a new save just for one character. People will complain that I'm testing on early game encounters, so I don't know about that one. So I mean, I kind of started this stream early, so I've been going for as long as normal. I might end it here, because I don't think there's any reason in just kind of like idly chatting and just trying to keep the stream alive when really it's kind of slowed down to a halt. If I'm not busy tomorrow, I don't know yet, I might try and do maybe like a slightly later stream. It will just be entirely promptu, maybe just kind of chilling and hanging out or something. But I think I'm quite content to leave this stream here for now. Maybe I can get to... Because I recorded the Jaheira build this morning, so I'd quite like to get that edited and uploaded. If you plan to do a stream tomorrow, will you announce it beforehand? No, I don't need every... the thing is like, if I kind of just want to do something kind of small and impromptu, it won't be like, oh, I'm announcing this big proper stream. Like, it'll pop up on the Discord as a notification for everybody when I go live. So it's not going to be like a pre-prepared thing. Again, I might not even do it, so don't, like, wait up for me. My first live stream, thank you very much. Oh, it's nice to have you here, Meow Mix. I didn't realize this was your first stream. I swear I'd seen your name before, perhaps from comments. A build is coming out tomorrow, right? Yes, my first ever modded build, the Pirate Lord, which is a Blade Singer build, which I'm quite looking forward to. It is one of my favorite builds I've done in a while. Okay, so the build was so interesting to make that I actually wrote down a backstory for it and went about it in the video. Like, that's how much I liked that build, which is not something I do often anymore. If I have lore for a character, I will just, like, do it off the top of my head. But this was, like, such an interesting concept to me that I actually did, like, a quick character background and such like that. It is a proper pirate build as well, yes. And I'll say this, there is not a single vanilla subclass in it. It's all modded. More popular than the beard build? Well, a lot of my videos were more popular than the beard build, let's be real. Yeah, it's... I mean, if you guys are on the Discord, you would have seen the thumbnail for it, because I did post it. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but it's really good. It is a Bladesinger build, but there is some interesting stuff that I added into it that I think you guys will like. And it is by far one of the strongest builds I've made. And it wasn't even intentionally meant to be that way. The playstyle that comes from it is just really, really, really strong. It might take a while to come fully online, but it definitely works. You better have the pirate hat from Sorcerer's Sundries on. You'll see. I saw you show Dex the thumbnail. Yeah, exactly. So I'll be looking forward to that coming out tomorrow. I mean, I've got so many interesting modded build ideas that I want to run with. I want to try mixing Bladesinger and Hexblade. Because I think with the equipment that's present in this game, you could make that really powerful. I know, and that's an idea that I've kind of stolen from Colby from D4. Because I know he built that a year ago, but I want to try building it myself. So yeah, Hexblade Bladesinger, I think would be really fun. Because like the idea of like the extra attack with the cantrip being used with like Eldritch Blast and like Booming Blade and other stuff could be really fun. Open Sea Paladin / Fathomless Warlock. Ooh. That sounds awesome. The other thing I wanted to try doing, like, because I want to try and overtake it a Pyromancer, but with Wildfire Druid? Thought that could be fun. What else did I pick? Oath of Conquest, and I think Oath of Glory were two very specific requests that I got. Drake Warden I'm going to be trying and build with. Trying to think of what else. I've got a bunch... I want to try something with Echo Knight, because I've messed around with that mod a bit, and it's really interesting to me. I want to find something interesting that could do with that. Open Sea came out in the new Tal'Dorei book. It's pretty new. Eloquence Bard? I have a couple of Bard mods. I think it's Spirits and such. Let me have a look. Is there an Eloquence Bard mod? College of Eloquence. There you go. Pick that up as well. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Man, now I really wish the mods come faster. Echo Knight plus Spectral Self Monk. Ooh. Rune Knight or Path of the Giants? I have Rune Knight. I'm going to mess with that. I'm working on the Path of the Giant Barbarian. I think I have Path of the Zealot installed. Like, there's just so many interesting things I can do with mods. And as much as I like doing the vanilla builds, I think if the modded builds do well enough, like, I'll probably shift more to that, because it's just more creatively fulfilling for me at this point. Zealot is mad at level 15. That's the only thing. I'm keeping the modded builds to level 12 for now, because that is what the game is balanced around. I know there are other mods that kind of can change like levels and such around, but I want to kind of just focus on the base experience. So that's the other challenge, is making these modded builds with still the 12 level limit. That might change later, but I don't know. Zealot is mad at level 15. You cannot die while raging. That's funny. Path of the Giants as well. Let me see. Giant. Barbarian subclass. Here we are. Path of the Giant. Not entirely sure what this does. Ooh. Boosting your size, reach, and even your thrown weapons. Oh, so it's like building in, like, Enlarge just into, like, Barbarian. That's kind of cool. Maybe for a D&D build then? If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't want to do D&D builds anymore. I tried it, and it was a lot of extra work for 2 of my worst performing videos of all time. I get more satisfaction of building, because the idea, and I say this in tomorrow's video, the idea of what I was doing with my D&D builds is I was making them with the idea that they could be modded into Baldur's Gate 3. So I thought, why not just do the opposite? Let's make modded builds that can just be translated into D&D if you want. Yeah, as much as I like... Have you checked out Fey Wanderer for Ranger? Yes, I have. I don't like to moan, but, like, as much as I just want to explore my creative activity, at this point, this whole YouTube thing, it is kind of a second job for me now. And I don't mean that in the way of, like, oh, I have to make another video. It's not like that. But I'm getting to a stage of my life now where I need to start doing things, and I need money to do those things, and as such, YouTube being a rather sizable second income for me is kind of important. So I want to make sure... So even though I don't want to really play the game, quote-unquote, as far as that's concerned, I kind of have to. So that's my plan. I'm going to try modded builds. If they work, I might shift to making them just part of the regular content. We'll see. Now I'm glad I didn't send you my build idea. It would be impossible in BG3, unfortunately. I mean, still send it to me. I'm curious, because I like to go back and forth on that sort of thing. It just doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be changed into a video. Or made into a video. The other things I'm kind of looking into experimenting with on the channel are... well, game stuff, I guess. Again, I want to kind of upload experimental things here and there. So maybe, like, and I kind of wanted to, because when I made, like, a couple of, like, gameplay videos and such like that where I, like, highly edited, those were really fun. So I'd kind of like to experiment with that again, but again, they don't do very well, so it's a bit tricky. And to be honest, the channel is still recovering from when I took the time off from when I had strep. It hasn't quite got back up to the same levels as it was before, so I'm kind of having to compensate for that a little bit at the moment, but yeah, this is kind of where I'm at with the channel. It's going fine. I still want to keep doing it, but I'm starting to get to that point where I have to play to what's popular more than what everyone wants me to do sometimes. It's tricky. It's impossible. It requires throwing dice as a punishment for using spells as a sorcerer. Oh, interesting. Welcome to the dark side of content creation, Hobo. It takes a toll. I couldn't cut it myself. I really am excited for when you do the Shadow Druid concept on Discord revolving around a Displacer Beast. Yes. The only reason I haven't done that yet is it's a bit too close to both my Halcyon and Jaheira builds, so there's a lot of Druid going on right now, especially Moon Druid. So I'm going to maybe do that as, like, maybe a video, not next Monday because I've got a different build, but maybe the Monday after. That's probably when that's going to go up. We're still going? Yes, and I'm probably going to call it now, though, actually, because it's kind of just getting into weird territory, so I'm probably going to call it here, though. So, yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. I think next stream, if I do a proper stream next weekend, it'll probably be something different than just building something. I'm not sure what yet. And any ideas, throw them in the Discord for... I think I had, like, a stream ideas channel. If I remember correctly, yeah, stream suggestions. Otherwise, if I'm not busy tomorrow and I'm just kind of bored, I might do an impromptu stream tomorrow. Could be fun. Yeah, sorry, Sin, I didn't mean to kind of leave as soon as you were coming back, but the stream has really kind of slowed down to the point where it's just like, I'm just going to call it, I think. Faldorn is a cool character for inspiration on Shadow Druids. Look her up. I'll do that in my own time. Right. I think I will call it here. I think I'm going to get the Jaheira build edited and uploaded for Wednesday, because I'm trying to stay ahead on uploads. It's alright, make sure you take breaks. Yeah. And I apologize for today's stream. There's been a very weird energy to it. Again, we're just kind of the not really doing much, all in all. And, you know, kind of the weird, kind of slow pace we were going at towards the end. It's not really what I like for streams. I think I'm going to have to try and find some new ideas for streams that I can kind of still interact with you guys, but do something a bit more, like, entertaining, for sure. Yeah, thanks for all the kind words, everyone. Have a nice rest of your day. Yeah, thanks, everyone. You guys all enjoy your weekend. I'm just happy to know I have the worst timing. Sorry about that, Sin. Yeah, I'll see if I can come up with an interesting stream idea for next weekend, for sure. Alright. I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you for all the kind words. It's really nice to hear that from you guys. Anyways, I'll see you all next time. Bye.